What is going on, YouTube? That's right. I'm back on top. Let's Draw on Something has returned after so many month hiatus, and this will definitely be the last hiatus because I had a lot of issues going on with me that I'd rather not get into right now. I am Craig L. Smith II, born and raised in the 773, relocated to 901, moved to the 662, then moved to the 256 to put up with the bullshit there, and I'm back in the 662. Let me rephrase that. I'm back on top in the 662, and you know how I do. Joining me is my fellow Four Horsemen member, Jimmy JSmoove, aka Jimmy Mix Show You Right. Born and raised in 901. Now he representing the 832. He getting ready to do some things down there. So y'all definitely gonna know how he do. Let's Draw on Something has been brought to you in part by Trey Styles Custom and Designs. There's nothing you can't customize. Now, change of plans. During the COVID-19 epidemic, he hit him up for all your team needs as far as your mask and everything else goes, because he is making some money on his mask and everything else. Hit him up on Facebook at Trey D. Murphy. Also hit him up on Instagram, which I don't have the handle here in front of me right now, but just type up Trey Murphy. I think it's Trey Styles or something, but I'll do it later. Also, shout out to my Southside class of '96 alumni, D Stan. He got some good deals on some trap meals. That's right. If you're in the Memphis area, Shaka D will be cooking some gourmet cuisine that will definitely keep your ass lean. Hit him up. He will update his personal Facebook page for his menu and everything, and he will deliver. So hit him up. His name is D. That's DEE Stan, and you'll see his smiling. You'll see his smiling mug looking like Mark Henry on his Chef Boyardee logo. But anyway, that's my guy. But anyway, what's going on, Jimmy?
Oh, nothing much, man. Just been chilling all day. You know, having a normal chill day. Getting off work and everything. So it's live and
Oh, okay.
live and direct and in full effect. So it's as usual, man. But we're gonna get back on the game. We're gonna get back right and everything great, man. But I can't wait to get ready to start this show off, man, and start with the first topics, man. So what's the topic we're gonna start with, man?
Well, I'm getting ready to send you something in a minute here through your Facebook Messenger. We did had a lot of late people. We did had a lot of deaths. Not COVID-19 related, but we didn't have a lot of celebrity deaths. As y'all know, last weekend, Little Richard and Agent Harrell had passed away. Now
Oh,
this week, um, we had some serious deaths. Jimmy, I sent you this picture. It's a beautiful woman. Her name is Hana Kimura,
mm-hmm.
and she was a Japanese wrestler. She's only 22 years old, one of the most popular Japanese wrestlers over on the New Japan circuit. They don't have a women's division, but she wrestles for the company. She wrestled for the company.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she died due to suicide. Okay, and I'm gonna read what's in this post here that I saw. It said, for those wondering about this guy by the name of Adam Lavelle off of Facebook said, for those wondering about what happened to Hana Kimura, she was absolutely harassed by fans of her Japanese Netflix show Terrace House. She got into an argument with a popular cast member, and many fans messaged her telling her to die. It wasn't just Terrace House though. There's a lot of harassment over the last few months. So some AEW fan, that's all elite wrestler fan, asked her if she would ever go back to AEW back in March. She replied, I have no plans to work in the US, and stardom is my priority. Well, that reply turned into people telling her to kill herself because stardom isn't a real company and that AEW is the only place with real wrestling. Then there were the perverts who had been sexually harassing her in Twitter DMs since January. She even felt forced to turn off her Twitter DMs a while back due to all the sexual pictures and harassment she was getting through them. My God, wrestling fans, seek counseling, please.
Here's the thing, and I do not co-sign bullying under no circumstances.
Neither do I.
Apparently, this person had some type of mental issues for someone to let somebody put them in a position to where they'll harm themselves, to where they mistreat themselves and mistreat the people in the world that loves her. So mental illness need to be addressed, period. To the people that bullied her, I need to
Go
be
fuck
dealt with.
yourself.
Yeah, they need to get stumped out and fucked up, because there are some people that are mentally weak. But I will say this to those that have mental issues: get help. Simply get help. If there's a mental issue that you're dealing with, you're welcome to talk to me, because I have a history of mental issues myself. But
Count me
and
in as well.
I've been there. I've been to a point to where I wanted to jump off of a building, but I've had people that I mentored, and I have people that lace me with enough game to stop me from doing it. When you mentor people, because I strive to mentor every Black person I can mentor, and some other people as well. I don't just mentor Black people, but particularly I strive to mentor my people because they need it the most. If your ass will listen, I fuck with you. If you don't, jump off a bayou and drown. Goddamn it! I hate to put it to people like that, but it just is what it is. I mean, I don't condone suicide again, but if you can't listen to what I say, and I'm trying to lace you with some game, that's your problem. But I'm not encouraging suicide under no circumstances. So I've been at a situation to where I wanted to commit suicide. I've been in a situation. However, I mentored the right people to tell me, you know what, your mentor, because I do have a mentor, still have a mentor, my martial art instructor, and Dr. Jerry Bobo. We chop it up all the time. We have conversations all the time, and that's one of the people that encouraged me to get into trucking to fulfill a plan. Uh, More with that on a later date. But if I didn't mentor the right people, I probably would have. And that's why it's important to mentor people, because number one, you might be in a fucked up situation to where you down on your luck, and that person will hold you accountable. That's the number one reason why it's important to have a mentor. And number two, it's important to mentor people because you never know who life you can change with just the information you know. You don't necessarily got to be a big successful person to mentor somebody, because I'm gonna get into the show about a couple of celebrity deaths in a second. But you never know who you're influencing, and if you're just want to commit suicide, somebody can talk you out of that shit. I'm not a mentally weak person under no circumstances, but I've been in that position. I can talk about it because I've been in that position to where I just want to end it all.
Yeah.
A lot of people been in positions to where they might not wanted to commit suicide, but they don't want to live no goddamn more. You might not been at that level to where you want to commit suicide, but you've been at a level to where you don't want to live no more. You start drinking. I'm talking about perpetual drinking, not casual drinking here and there, because that's not going to do nothing to your liver. But perpetually alcoholism and drinking to where you fucking killing your liver. That's a form of
Right.
suicide to a certain degree. You know not to drink all them fucking beers and shit like that. I'm not talking about a person that does it on the weekend. That's not gonna do shit. But somebody who does it
I
every
do it
day
every other
can't.
day. I'm gonna admit I do it every other day.
But I'm saying this. That's on you right there. But that's a whole nother conversation.
But I ain't trying to kill my liver. I mean, I do something to excuse
Yeah,
me.
but
I don't kill my liver. I have about a couple beers every other day. That's it.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the people that, kill their lungs to where they talking all raspy and shit, to where they, smoking cigarettes. You know what you're doing. That's one step from killing your damn self. You might not put a gun to your head. You might not even get on top of the roof or nothing like that and be ready to stab yourself. You might not take a whole bunch of pills and kill yourself and drink some alcohol on top of Ritalin or something like
Right.
that. You might not do that, but you may do something that's going to ultimately lead to your death and untimely death at that. You know what I'm saying? So I understand what it's like to be in a position to where it be like you want to drop two tens in the bucket and say fuck it. I've been in that position. But and that's why I
Mm-hmm.
can talk about it, and I have the confidence to talk about it because I know about it. You know what I'm saying? So, to those people that bullied her
Fuck
and
you.
took advantage of a weak person, fuck you. And to the person that did commit suicide, rest in peace. And hopefully, the message I just sent could inspire someone to keep from, offing their self and or cheating the
Ru-
world out of their talents. I should say that. Continue, brother. Go ahead and talk your shit.
And the thing about this, Jimmy, she's 22. She was just getting started.
Mm-hmm.
22 years old. I mean, I don't get into detail in that. I mean, it's sad to me that you know that something like that happen. Something like that will happen to her. But man, but the part though that got me. Let me pull it back up because was when she said, "I have no plan." Okay, that's understandable that you had no plans to work in the U.S. and stardom is my priority. You know, Jimmy McWright said this phrase best. She was about to get lost in the sauce. She's talking about stardom as a priority. I'm not saying now, I'm not condoning that they had every right to bully her. But if they
Mm-hmm.
had just came at her in a better way and just said, whoa, wait a minute, you finna get lost. That's fine and good, but don't mess around and get lost in the sauce. Maybe it was the way that she said it, or whatever, but damn, I mean, to the point, man, where she had to. Huh, I don't condone bullying either. I've been bullied. I'm gonna go and call them out. I was bullied by my two cousins in Chicago and pops. You know, and I talked about on here, and there was a drawing that I did back in 2016 to 2017. The little boy getting punched in the face. That not only was a story for what I'm doing for my comics, and that was me. And I'll post that. I will post it up on my Facebook too. That little boy was me. That the drawing of the little boy getting punched in the face by a grown individual. That little boy was me. Because there were times I got punched. I would get punched straight in the face hard by my father for no reason. I would get
Mm-hmm.
kicked in the face by my cousin Keon, Mr. Six Figures himself for no reason. Because at the time when he was a teenager, he was, when he was getting like, he really got lost. He really got lost in his own sauce because he thought he's big shit because he had got him a girlfriend. You know who wouldn't? But you don't necessarily get lost in your sauce. You know, Shonda, I love to death. Shonda was even bigger bully than anything, and she knew better. Sometimes I sporadically talk to her. I talk to her son. I talk to her sons and her daughter. She got and her daughter-in-law and stuff like that. But I sporadically talk to her, because I haven't quite. I'm gonna say it on here, Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't quite forgiven them for not showing up to their uncle's funeral on October 14, 2017, in Memphis, in which I and my ex-wife, who was my wife at the time, drove up here. And the story behind on that, I'll tell you about that on your show. There's more to that story I didn't tell you from the first time from the Craig Smith Senior dedication. Um, I'll be honest, I really did not want to go to my father's funeral because I was pissed off with, you know, and moms and I we later talked about it. I told her I was pissed off with you. And I told my mom, I said, Mom, I said, you understand what stuff was going on and everything. You had stuff in your mind. I'm tired of hearing that excuse. You were wrong, you were wrong for putting his funeral on my birthday. That's one. Second, you listen to people tell you just like I told my mom. I said, second, you just like them niggas that I said you had people in your ear just like them old outside ass niggas that would tell Pops what the fuck to do with me. And these are people that didn't have children. Tell you how you need to handle your business with me. Half of them can bear half of them. And I said, and half them folks that would tell you what to do barely don't know their fathers to their own children. I said, and and I'm just gonna say here, Moms and I, we didn't talk for about 2 weeks. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we didn't talk about 2 weeks because of that. But then I'm lying. We didn't talk. We didn't talk until towards the end of October. Matter of fact, almost and then toward the end of October, heading to the beginning of November. Because I came back in 2017 for Thanksgiving. I did say I did do that. You know, uh, I think my aunt was I love her to death. She, one that lives here. I think she was mad with me at the time too. And for what, Jimmy, I don't fucking know. I mean, didn't have no business being mad with me, but but I know everybody was mad. Everybody was pissed off, man. His wife with what she got up there at the podium to say, and take a wild guess, everybody, who won the pony and getting the blame on that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, yeah, me. So, uh, like I said, my mom and I, we didn't talk for shit after the funeral. I mean, I think last time I talked to her, I just let her know that we made it home and stuff like that. And then when she got talking all crazy and kept talking about some money, I had to cut it short. And then that's when my wife at the time was like, "Are you expecting something? Do you think your dad left you something?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "She did." I said, "If he did, I already know she gonna be blowing my phone up about, hey, pay this and pay that." Look, and she got pissed off at me when I told her. I said, "Mom, look, I don't mind pay take care of your marriage, be like your life, but I got responsibilities here in Huntsville. I can't be taking care of two households, and then I got one up here questioning me about where everything then went. I can't do that, And then at the time, I stood up to my mom and said, "Hey, I got a wife now, and we ain't got no kids, but it's just me and her and the dogs." And and that game quickly changed when the son moved in and my ex-wife's son moved in, and every fucking thing went to hell. But that's another long story here and there. But again, with this Honda Kimura, man, I really feel, I really feel bad. I said, me, myself, and Jimmy, we feel bad that she had to go through that and had to resort to that. And like Jimmy said, to all the ones that was bullying her, y'all got some, y'all mental faculties is fucked up. to push this girl into suicide. And and then that's not gonna be good on your that's not gonna be good on your conscience either. At all. They always say the old saying, karma comes to collect. So, karma gonna be collecting on y'all, on the ones that was bullying this young lady. But 22 years old, she was just doing what she do. And I watched one of her matches on YouTube before we even started. The girl could wrestle. And in Japan, they don't do none of that this WWE bullshit that you see on TV now, as opposed to the wrestling. Jimmy, did you grow up watching NWA wrestling like myself?
I watched NWA wrestling in the late 80s, before it turned into WCW. It was NWA before it was WCW, from my understanding. Okay, so we're correcting that assessment. So yeah, I watched. I was I was 4 or 5 years old, but I can remember shit from 3. But yeah, so yeah, I watched NWA back in the day. So yeah,
and up in Chicago, I mean, we got all kinds of wrestling up there. NWA, WWF, Mid South Wrestling, and World Class Championship Wrestling. Chicago was more of an NWA, but Chicago had more NWA programs. I was more of an NWA guy than I was a WWF guy. WWF has some good stuff, but wasn't none as real as NWA. So, I mean, and over in Japan, they wrestle the NWA style. They don't pull nothing back. They don't hurt each other, and stuff like that. But they actually just get out there, perform, and wrestle. But again, Hana Kimura, I mean, damn. That's just a fucking hard pill to swallow for her. That's just a hard pill to swallow. It's for anybody, even for her family and for her fans. I'm not even a fan of. I'm not even a fan of. But it just fucked up. She got killed she was led to suicide due to cyberbullying, and that's fucked up. And nobody should have to go through that. So, another person that died. Speaking of WWE, Shad Gaspard, from the tag team Crime Time. His body was found 3 days later, and it was confirmed dead after his son, his wife were on the beach, and a massive riptide hit the beach. He told the lifeguard, hey, save my son. I'm gonna try and get out of this. Let me tell you men something. You men, you fathers. That's a man right there. He sacrificed his life to save his son. And he was 38 years old. And after WWE, he dabbled with screenwriting. And said he wrote some pretty good B movie plots. But they didn't say what movies he wrote. And he was also a stunt double. And he said he felt he made more money doing that, both the screenwriting and the stunt double, than he did at WWE. He said, WWE gave him opportunity to go out there, but it gave him something to fall back. Gave him something to fall back on in the process. And to me, Shad is a hero of my eyes, man. You worried about your son's safety than yourself. Everybody say, "Oh, man, that nigga was selfish." No, he wasn't selfish. To me, he's a man's man to do that. He sacrificed himself to save his son, so his son can live. So to all you men out there, if you call yourselves trying to be real men, the late Shad Gaspard got y'all beat by doing what he did. I can't think of anybody that off the top of my head that I know personally that has done something like that. So, your thoughts on that, Jimmy?
I haven't watched wrestling in ages. So the fact that I haven't watched wrestling in ages, but I did saw that while I was at my new job. Because I work by a desk very closely. So I saw that coming up, and that's very unfortunate. I'm glad his son wasn't taken away from us in the process, from what I've read. They say they was able to save the son, but not the father. Am I correct in that assessment?
Yeah, and they found his body 3 days later. So they found
3 days later.
Shaz.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So I wanted to be on the same page. That's what I read. If I'm wrong about it, please correct me. But um, I hate that kid lost his life. He wasn't. He was young too. He was like around my age. Am I correct in that assessment?
He been. I think they said he was 38,
Oh, 38.
38 or
So
39. One.
we're basically around the same age range. We're basically
Mm-hmm.
around the same age. So I'm saddened that he died. I'm saddened that a brother that who is a productive citizen has died. And my heart is heavy when that happened. So definitely rest in peace to that brother, and I hope his son will ultimately fulfill a legacy. You ain't necessarily got to be a wrestler, but be productive in life and represent
Mm-hmm.
your dad to the fullest. Have somebody to represent and look up to. And I glad the kid was saved, but I hate the guy lost his life and a kid that will be without a father. So rest in peace to that. One more thing I wanted to address about that woman's suicide. Um, I'm against bullying. That's first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if you feel like you can't take pressure, because peer pressure could be good or bad, but in the case that we're talking about negative. Get around some strong people. Martial arts can help a lot. Uh, Martial arts can help a lot. Get around some strong people, some strong-minded people, and some strong people in general. As far as people, if you feel like you're low in self-confidence, you're low in self-esteem, it's important to get around some strong people in the process. Because we got a lot of people that use the quote-unquote cyberbullying tactic just to make people weak. I'm not doing that to be weak. Bullying is bad, but we also need to kick the bully's ass, because I done kicked plenty of bullies' ass in my lifetime. And sometimes we just need to stump on the bullies and stuff like that. And granted, Japan has a high suicide rate anyway. They have one of the highest suicide rates in the world, unfortunately. Uh, very many martial artists have either been trained or come out of Japan, but for them to be one of the martial arts capital of the world, arguably, if not the martial arts capital in the world, as well as gymnastics capital of the world, there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people out there suicide. A lot of that is heavy drug usage. A lot of that is once you do everything you want to do on the island, because Japan is an island, um, that you become very isolated. It's a very isolated island. It's it's so bad over there to where people got to burn your body if you die out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the or the smell. It smells like crap over there in Japan. And this is no diss to Japanese people. My instructor, even though he's a black guy, he was born and partially raised before he moved to Memphis. Um, so it smells over there. When you go to
I've
Japan, you
heard.
can smell it. I mean, my instructor can confirm this. People in the military that've been to Okinawa, who's been in the Marines or Army, wherever the hell their camps be at, it smells over there. So people got to burn your fucking body. And she died in Japan. Am I correct in that assessment?
Mm-hmm.
And people ain't gonna be able to go to a gravesite funeral. They gotta go to this woman's funeral, and then they basically gotta cremate her and probably burn her in the ground, unfortunately, and that's fucked up. So again, rest in peace to that woman, and much respect, and hopefully stop bullying motherfuckers. First and foremost, stop bullying motherfuckers. And if you are bullying motherfuckers, you need your entire ass kicked by somebody that's just as strong as you think you are. So it is what it is. What's the next topic, brother?
All right. Last but not least, Hall of Famer NBA coach Jerry Sloan.
Mm.
Uh Man, he passed away from complications. He had Parkinson's disease and complications of Lewy body dementia. Damn. 78 years old, and like you said in the sports chat group, that sucked ass
Whole ass.
from what he passed away from. Great guy. You know, everybody say he'll be forever known for the fact that Darren Williams made him retire, made him lose his love for coaching basketball, which we'll get onto that in a minute. But Jerry Sloan, for people forgot, Jerry Sloan he was small, he was a double position player, he was a small forward, and he was a shooting guard for the Chicago Bulls, was an all-star, tenacious rebounder, he scored. Um, and reading here on ESPN, it said a lot of fellow coaches said him and Don Nelson played in the same for the same high school in Illinois. He's an Illinois guy, Um, sucks. I mean,
Yeah.
because everybody respected him. I don't know who. I know he was an assistant, but I forgot who it was, what coach it was, what he took over for. Jimmy, you can search that right quick.
Let me let me go on to YouTube. Let me go on to Wikipedia, but keep on talking your shit, man. Keep on talking your
But
shit, man.
man, I mean, the guy. A lot of people, you couldn't from reading Jack McMillan's column. You couldn't say a bad thing about Jerry Sloan. Everybody
Okay.
said he was too damn old school and stuff like that. But uh, when he coached Utah, he never had to lose a season. And his best team
Okay.
was the 2002-2003 team. And I think that year they did finish with the best record in the league. And if
Okay.
I'm not mistaken, and he had a good group, man. I think they won one year. I think that he won 68 games to that group. They went 68-14 with a group of young guys. But what a lot of people don't understand is back in 2006, this guy by the name of CJ Miles, who still is playing the NBA right now, he brung out the best of CJ Miles. Everybody talking about
Mm.
some, well, he 19 years old. Jerry Sloan said, look, I don't care if he's 19 or if he's 30. He's going to be NBA ready under me.
Mm-hmm.
And CJ
Good for you,
Miles
man.
always said, I give credit to Coach Sloan. He said every time he saw him on the sideline when he was sitting there, said Coach Sloan lit up like a pinball. He would see CJ, and he said, "Man, you the best." He said you were one of my best players I worked with that I had patience with.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and for what they were saying, Jerry Sloan was raised in Gobbler's Knob, Illinois, the youngest of 10 children. He was 4 years old when his father died and said he would rise before the sun, complete his chores on the family farm, then walk more than 2 miles to school. Those who knew him said he attributed the work ethic that served him well throughout his NBA career to his hard scrabble upbringing. And said and here it is about CJ, said he ran the disciplined franchise and would not tolerate excuses or dissent. He expected his players to exhibit the same grit that was his trademark. In 2006, when asked if he needed to be patient with his youngest player, 19-year-old CJ Miles, Sloan retorted, I don't care if he's 19 or 30, he's going to be on the floor in the NBA. If he's going to be on the floor in the NBA, he's got to be able to step up and get after it. We can't put diapers on him one night. We can't put diapers on him one night and a jockstrap the next. It's just the way it is. And it says Sloan
Okay.
also exhibited ferocious loyalty to his players. So when Kenya Martin leveled Karl Malone on the open floor, it wasn't Malone who threatened to fight him. It was Sloan.
He threatened to fight Karl Malone. Am I hearing that correct?
No, he threatened to fight Kenya Martin.
Kenya Martin. Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. I like Kenya Martin. Kenya Martin. He wouldn't have won that fight, dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Jerry Sloan is from. Hold on. He's from McLeansboro, Illinois. That's South Illinois. Um, averaged 14 points as a player over 10,000 points. So that's when 10,000 points was the NBA standard. Now it's more closer to 20,000. But at the time he retired, very few people, compared to now, could obtain 10,000. So you could argue he deserved to be in the Hall of Fame as a player because of the standard of that particular time, in which now 20,000 points is now the milestone that people should obtain. So I think it's like 50 to about 60 players that has attained that milestone. You're probably looking at 60 or 70 if you include the ABA, NBA stats that were included on some players' milestone. Um, as far as Jerry Sloan missed the playoffs only 3 times as a Utah coach, and he only had 3 losing seasons in 23 years of coaching. Those 2 of those losing seasons came with the Chicago Bulls, and I want to say the first year of CJ Miles' career.
Okay.
And that was around 2005. So you were almost right there. So he only had 1 losing season with the Utah Jazz, but for the most part, they went to the playoffs.
Right.
They only missed the playoffs 3 times in his tenure there, but they still had winning records. But those times that they missed the playoffs, they barely missed the playoffs. He also took over for head coach Frank Layden,
Mm-hmm.
who became
Yeah, I just saw it on here too.
who became the first head coach of the WNBA team that was in Utah, the Utah Stars as well. So he was a decent coach. I mean, I'll say a great coach. The problem was he ran into the Chicago Bulls, the Portland Trailblazers, and he ran into the Seattle Supersonics with the prime Gary Payton.
And Sean Kemp.
Sean Kemp. Oh, and he ran into Akeem Olajuwon. So
twice.
That stopped twice. So that stopped a possible NBA championship. I'm really not gonna say talk about the Spurs team that they lost to, because they were expected to lose to the Spurs team. That was a given.
Right.
So they over,
and they were the only team. And let me add on that. They were the only team to sweep the Lakers back in back-to-back years in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. Yeah. Hold on for a second.
While Jimmy's doing that,
no, I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure my door was locked because I'm in the living room. So
okay. And then with that being said, Sloan's Utah teams were really good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about Jimmy's forte in a minute. They were the only team, and that was an oversight that Jimmy was trying to slick not get into, and I had to catch him on that, y'all. He didn't want to mention that. Like the year the Bulls, when they in the 97-98 season, Utah swept the Lakers. And if you watch The Last Dance, with the look on Jordan's face when they said, Utah swept the Lakers, you're like, who? Wait a minute. Shaq's Lakers said, yeah, they swept them. Said none of the games was close. They swept them.
And here's the thing.
Hold it though. And then in the short lockout season, in the conference semis, right after the Lakers had swept the Rockets in the first round, Lakers got their ass whooped in the second round 4-0. Man, that was even a worse record fashion. That was even worse. That was just embarrassing. The Jazz put an embarrassment on. 2 years in a row, you go 8-0 against the Lakers in the playoffs, with Shaq and Kobe, with a lazy ass, with a lazy ass Shaq who didn't want to prove his game, Kobe who was just getting started, and then they had Robin on there, and then they had Robin on the team for a minute, and basically Shaq got tired of him, and that's when we'll tell y'all about that. Robin had to G check Shaq about that shit. He said, "Look, he said, boy, you young, you got a lot to learn. You don't call your shots on this team. You don't." He said, "I've been in the league longer than you have," and that was true. Robin, and then what happened? What happened the following year was 1 year Shaq won the NBA. He won. What was it? He won the All Star regular season and the Finals MVP in 1 year. And I think that was the year they won the championship.
Well, here's the thing with Shaq. Shaq, contrary to the statistics that he obtained, he was a lazy motherfucking ass defensive player. He was a very, very lazy defensive player. As a
I
matter
just
of
said
fact,
that's what I just said. He was very late. He was lazy,
yeah,
real
because
lazy.
like, and because and you won't believe that. And I'm talking to the viewers. You already. I know you know the stats because you the king of stats, man. But for those viewers who do not understand Shaq's game, now at LSU, Dale Brown made him play defense.
Yep.
When he played
Yeah,
with
Brown
Phil,
should have had him. And then, but let me cut you. I mean, cut you off. I'm not gonna qualify Johnny Jones as a coach, but
mm-hmm.
they should have had somebody else. They should have had somebody working with Shaq on his all around game. Because I'll be honest with you, man. I got tired of seeing Shaq bullying around. And all he did was just dunk. That don't make. Yeah, he was a dominant physical center. But if you want to look at dominant centers, um, David Robinson, Akeem, Zoe. I need to find him on Twitter, see if he down want to do an interview with us on my podcast. That's a surprise for y'all right there. I'll let y'all know when. If he down for it, I'll let y'all know when. Because if he say yes, man, we really got Jimmy. We really got to give the questions on that shit together. So
Well, Shaq had a jumper. He had a jumper, but he would not use it that often. Now his jump hook and his lazy ass turnaround J, he can pop that bitch. Cause I seen that man shoot from 18 feet with the Magics a couple of times. And I'm like, damn, why don't he ever use this motherfucker instead of
now
just
there was
dunking all
one
the
game
fucking
he
time?
hit 2 3-pointers. Now
Yeah.
that's when he was first started. Now he hit 2 3-pointers in a row. It
Mhm.
was a nice jumper, but I'm like, bro, David Robinson, Akeem, Zoe. Hell, 1 year in the playoffs when Zoe played us, the Bulls, Zoe was hitting. Zoe hit like three of them in a game on their ass. They were the Bulls like, what the fuck? Zoe always had a shot, man. But the scary thing
No,
about Zoe, but hold on, the scary thing about Zoe, and you said it, for a dude his size, they want to talk about Zion having some crazy leaping ability for his size. Zoe had everybody beat, Jack.
I agree.
That he's scary, man.
His leaping ability could be argued with Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain's leaping ability. Because I've discussed on here maybe 4 weeks ago, 2 to 3, 4 weeks ago, that people don't realize how much leaping ability Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain had. And like I say, they
And add
were
Zoe's son to the list because Zoe, I even cut you off. Trey Alonzo the third, he played for Georgetown. Whew, his son's scary, dog.
Yeah.
His son, Zoe's son is scary. Because I last seen watching the highlights from him when he was playing with Georgetown. Because Pat, you were talking about some. I want to play more inside mode, and that's what his son said. Good luck with that, because you're gonna let me play my game. He said, "Hey, good luck with that." Yeah, see, he said, "Good luck with that." Zoe's son is I'm put like this. He's more of a high-low guy. You know, he can go inside, he can go outside. But Zoe's son got some. Ooh, it's scary, man. But like you said, what Shaq's problem was, he just got complacent.
Exactly. And
Very
we
complacent.
we saw one game versus the New Jersey Nets where had he not gotten two questionable goaltending calls, well, really three. He got them three goaltending calls were very questionable. He would have set the NBA record. Um, he would have set the NBA record in block shots because he was 2 blocks away from tying and a third one from setting the record. Those two goaltending calls could have been in question. Were
Talking
very
about Shaq,
questionable.
right?
Yeah, Shaq. There's only one other man that had more blocks than he did. There was only one other man that had more blocks because he basically tied Manu Bol, who had 15 blocks in a game twice, and that was in the same season. You know what I'm saying? So that's hard to fucking do. That's hard to do, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, the problem with Elmore Smith, he nearly broke Elmore Smith's record. Had he not gotten those 3 bullshit ass goaltending calls, he would have set the record. But one of the problems with Shaq was number one, he was lazy on the defensive end.
Very lazy.
You know,
Backtrack. He was very lazy.
very, very lazy defensively. Now, with Phil Jackson made that motherfucker play defense. Phil Jackson told that motherfucker, look, if you finna be my big man and you finna score all these points, give me some goddamn defense. And Shaq did dominate that post. He was looking like Mutombo under Phil Jackson.
Hey, one time he badmouthed Phil. He told Phil to go fuck himself one time. Phil told everybody to clear the gym. He told everybody to clear the gym because when they looked at they said they don't know what was said. But Phil told him, man, don't you ever disrespect me. See, that was some gangster, that was some man shit there. Phil had told him one time, don't you ever disrespect me in front of everybody like that again. He said, because if I had the power, I would have you gone. Man, he did. You know, one time he disrespected Phil so doggone hard, man. Phil, woo. Well, Phil made him pay. Phil got on him. Shaq apologized to him, but Phil said that stopped me from that he wasn't gonna get out of some workouts I had for him. He made that man work on his game. He made him be more defensive. And then, you know, he publicly talking about he didn't want to learn to try, you know. And Phil's other receipt to him, to Shaq, we're gonna get on Jerry Sloan in a minute. Phil's other receipt to him, well, when Shaq publicly said he didn't feel like learning the triangle offense. Now, in case everybody know, if you know, I'm gonna say it. I put up a video about my last dance review. I think it was piss poor on my end. I do apologize for putting out something like that. I was trying to come up with some, you know, but the triangle offense is not a me first offense. It's a la-di-da-di everybody offense.
Correct. Absolutely
And
correct, brother.
anytime now, here's a Jerry Sloan reference. Everybody was talking about, oh, Jerry Sloan's offense was boring and all this and all that. Let me shut y'all ass, some of y'all naysayers and some of you so-called, well, let me put it like this. Let me share a little with something to you new school listeners about NBA offenses, what curiosity was with y'all. Well, put it like this, to you 2K players that like to use the flex offense. That's what he used, right? Okay. That use the flex offense playbook in 2K. If Jerry Sloan's offense is so boring, how come they stayed in the top 3 to top 5 and scoring every year? I'll wait. If the triangle offense is so fucking complicated, how come it always was in the top? It stayed in the top 3 to top 5. I didn't say it was number 1 and number 2. Y'all can look it up yourself. We're gonna let y'all do the homework. How come Phil Jackson's offense not only stayed in the top 5 and top 10, but Their defense is also top 5 or top 10. You know,
Man, I was about to say that
and
Phil Jackson is
also,
a
and hold on,
very
and
Mhm.
also, and hold on, and also, I think them 2 years when Mike Brown was the two-time coach of the year for the Cleveland Cavaliers, he did run the fucking triangle. He ran the triangle offense and the defense that stayed in the top 3 to top 5 every year.
Mhm.
So if y'all want to say that the triangle is complicated, if you want to say that Jerry Sloan's offense is boring, numbers to borrow a phrase from Evelyn Champagne King's song Kisses Don't Lie. Numbers don't lie. You better look at the
Let me break
stats.
down triangle offense from a drawing up the playbook standpoint. Depending on who gets the ball, it's a smaller version of the motion offense.
Yep.
It's a three out. It's a three out or two in. No, I'm sorry, a two out or one in system, depending on who gets the ball
Three
on
out,
what side.
3 out, 2 in, 3 out, two
Mhm.
in, 3 out, 1 in.
Okay, exactly. So it's a version of the motion offense. It's nothing extremely complicated about it, but it can be complicated if you have the right players around the system. That's why Michael Jordan was told by Phil Jackson, he said, he specifically told him, I am not worried about you scoring. Score your points, but pass the ball a little bit more. That's what he told him because Michael Jordan averaged 6 assists a game throughout his entire career. So how can you? He averaged 6, 7 assists prior to Phil Jackson coming there. So he wasn't the issue. He said, "I'm worried about other players on the team. We understand you're gonna get yours, but I'm worried about other players getting theirs." Scottie Pippen did not start averaging 20 plus points until the triangle was implemented in 1989-90. You know what I'm saying? So that's all the triangle offense is. It's a small down, it's a watered down version of the motion offense. That's all it
Mm-hmm.
is. It's just a watered down in terms of how many players involved. The motion offense is traditionally, depending on your motion offense, can be a 4 out. In the case of
That's it. Four
Budenholzer,
out, 1 in. What you said, 4 out, 1 in, 3 out, 2 in.
3 out, 2 in. That's basically it. Now, Milwaukee's version of the motion offense is a 5 out system. That's a version of the motion offense
The
with a five
Popovich
out system.
offense.
Popovich offense, basically what it is. You
Well,
know what
let
I'm
me
saying?
hold on. I mean cut you off. Let me rephrase that. We don't want to disrespect this man because hey, we've been on. If you go back to listen to Let's Draw on Something, Jimmy J Smooth, we've always give Greg Popovich his highest praises because uh he would let the media down when he in regards to him when they want to say some shit about black people. He won my supreme
Mhm.
respect when he said, you can't come up and say, you can't come here and tell me as a white man what African American went through, what African Americans went through. You don't know what they went through. Do your research.
Exactly.
He won my
And
respect on that, man. And if Pop was in person, I'd shake his hand for saying that and pull him aside. I said,
me
you
too.
won me over on that one. Man,
Me too.
because he shut it down. And Steve Kerr said the same thing. He said, hey,
Mhm.
it's in history. He said, come on. All what they
Exactly.
went through, he said, I want you had the history books, you look at the documentaries, all what African Americans went through. Come on now. You can't relate to
Mm-hmm.
them what they went through. He said,
Mm-hmm.
now
I
you can
agree.
relate to them as far as being in their shoes, as far as like if they've been in situations like getting messed over at their job,
Mm-hmm.
or they got an unruly family member, an unruly kid, or child, or son, or daughter that's doing wrong. Yeah, I buy that, but you can't tell me, oh, I know what y'all went through all through the years. No, that's the wrong thing to say. So,
Exactly.
and you know, uh, I mean to jump in on this, man. Ticket TV has Kendrick Perkins calling in on the show, which would be interesting. But
I'm gonna
let's continue.
I'm gonna do a review on that too. But I'm glad Ticket TV is using his networks because he is professional basketball player. I don't
Hey,
know if
I
he's
would not mind this man having me on. Need to put a good word in for me because when you be on with him,
yeah, yeah. I wouldn't mind having him on there, but he is a professional basketball player, as far as I know. I think he lives like in the Dominican Republic, but he's off and on from California, some shit like that. But
yeah. But we,
nevertheless,
but we was talking
go ahead.
about the but you was talking
Motion
about the
off.
boot holes offense because boot holes uses 5 out. They ain't number the Popovich how do I call that shit? The Popovich fundamentals 101. 101, not 101. The Popovich fundamentals 101.
Yeah, but
Trademarked by
yep,
us.
yep, and
So,
nevertheless,
but here's another thing. You talked about the offenses. Lenny Wilkins said some good things about Jerry Sloan, but one thing about Jerry Sloan, Jerry Slick changed with the game. A lot of people didn't know it. Jerry Slick stayed with the head of the curve, dog, because them teams he had with Darren Williams and Carlos Boozer and I didn't like. But I'll be honest with you, I liked the Mehmet Okur, man. He was the first center I saw out there popping threes, and then he said he had to cut his career short when he tore his Achilles tendon because he works in the front office with the Jazz.
mm-hmm.
Jerry
Yeah.
Jerry was putting in some was using some John Wooden and Harry Iber principles with his offense. He got with the times this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's another thing. What I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Here's a little fun little note. And if everybody want to talk about if Jared Sloan was soft, uh, Frank Layden, who relayed this jam to author Michael Lewis, nobody fights with Jerry because you know the price would be too high. You might come out the winner at his age. You might even lick him, but you lose an eye, an arm, your nuts, and your nuts in the process. Sloan's wrath was not reserved strictly for opponents. If he felt one of his players was whistled via a phantom call, he had no qualms about challenging the referee who made the decision, with some choice words to illustrate his point. In 2003, he was even suspended 7 games. I remember that shit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
For shoving referee Courtney Kirkland in the chest. Former NBA official Joey Crawford said he warned the younger refs that if they decide to slap Sloan with a technical foul, they should immediately turn and walk away to defuse the situation. Later, Crawford said, but here's the wonderful thing about Jerry. He'd get mad, but you go back at him and say a lot of stuff to him, and he would never, ever rat you out. You could even curse him out, but he was never going to call the league office the next morning to complain like some other coaches would. And he said, I
Mm-hmm.
had a hell of a lot of respect for the man. We all did. Lenny Wilkins, Jimmy's favorite coach, said he was exposed to a much softer side of Sloan when Wilkins chose him to be part of his staff for the 1996 Summer Olympics. At the time, he and Sloan were not particularly close, but Wilkins wanted him because of his respect for the way Sloan approached the game and the attention he commanded from players. I liked his competitive spirit, said Wilkins, number 2 on the all-time coaching wins list. His teams were always so prepared. And, he's very, but before I continue, Lenny Wilkins is a very underrated coach, African American coach.
Very,
Very,
very.
very.
The first coach to ever get 1,000 wins in the NBA on the NBA
Mm-hmm.
level. He was the standard for 1,000 wins because people were so shocked when he got the 900 wins, and then when he got that 1,000 win within those 2 years, it was respect, and he was also a damn good player. He's one of a handful of players to be in the Hall of Fame both as a player and coach. That's hard to
Mm-hmm.
do.
And there's a picture
And
of them. I'm gonna continue reading. It said they first played against each other in 1965, and they last coached against each other in 2004. Okay, but Wilkins said this: his teams were always so prepared, and he wasn't going to let you do what you wanted to do. We both believed defense could influence the game, And like me, he wasn't about to let you walk to the basket. That's not how we were raised. Said during their travels, Wilkins came to appreciate Sloan's wire sense of humor and passion for the game. His face softened when he spoke of his family. His devotion to his players was also evident. He had a great influence on our team, Wilkins said. He's one of those people who had instant credibility on the court. 4 years later, Sloan was bypassed as Wilkins' success for the 2000 Olympics, a slight that still bothers Wilkins to this day. He said, I was very disappointed for him, he said, and I let the people on the Olympic Committee know about it. It wasn't right. We did a great job in 1996, and Jerry was a big part of it. George Karl said while Sloan earned attention for his defensive schemes, he was just as enamored with Sloan's offensive sets. Funny you mentioned about Seattle. He said our first couple of years when I was in Seattle, we doubled Malone and we doubled Stockton, and they figured out how to destroy us. So said Carl, who went head to head with Sloan, coached teams 82 times, fourth most behind Rick Adelman, Nelson, and Jackson. He kept it simple, but what he drew up was rock solid. His players followed lead. I love the battles with Jerry. They were physical, but the Jazz played as a team and understood that you had to stick together in competition. Jerry demanded that. He demanded that his players be good teammates. Sloan retired third all time in 2011 in coaching wins and now sits as fourth. The man who since passed him for the third place, Pop, who said in a statement, the Lord and Sloan is genuine and true. And he said, and that is rare. He was a mentor for me from afar until I got to know him. A man who suffered no fools. He possessed the humor, often disguised, and had a heart as big as the prairie. Let's see, and everybody else talked about him. But the one thing that we did want to talk about, though, Darren Williams. Okay, Jimmy, I talked about this yesterday on the Sport Talk group. If it wasn't for Darren Williams, Jerry Sloan probably still would have been coaching. And if it wasn't for players like that, if it wasn't for players like Darren Williams, wanted to go into business for himself, make a good coach like Jerry Sloan just lose his passion for the game of coaching and just retire. You know, it. You know, come on now. But to give credit where credit is due, Darren got on Instagram and said he was glad that he patched things up with Coach with Jerry Sloan. Now I'll admit, and I said it on here. Let me tell you about a story. There was a playoff game in which Jerry Sloan drew up a play from a metal court to take a 3-point shot. But instead, Darren Williams decided to go into business for himself and take the last shot. Yeah, the Jazz won the game barely, but Sloan was more pissed off with Darren Williams for not following instructions. Because if he had to pass from Mehmet Okur and Mehmet had hit the three, it would have been game over. They wouldn't have went into an overtime game, and they would have barely won because of him. A lot of people don't know Darren Williams had the habit of going in business for himself. Date back to his time in Illinois with the Jazz. When Jason Kidd had to G check his ass, and then when he got down to Dallas, he played good with Dallas. But Rick Carlisle wasn't going for his shit neither. So really, Darren Williams, everybody's still mad with him in this day about the shit, but I'm glad he did patch things up with Coach before he left. He said, because if I didn't patch nothing up with him before he left, that would have been on him. Yeah, you damn right it would have been on him.
Exactly.
You damn right it would have been on you for not patching shit up. Because Jimmy, we live in a world where everybody goes into business for themselves. Right or wrong, do you go into business for yourself sometime?
Sometimes.
I do as well. And I'm going to admit at the job where I work at, which some talk, who I'm gonna talk about in a minute. Well, I ain't gonna talk about. I'll probably talk about them in a future show. I go into business on myself based off the fact of my well-being.
Exactly. That's what I do.
Okay. There's a difference between going in business for your, calling your own shots, so to speak. Because hell, I called my shots when I was working at FedEx. If I didn't feel like if you're gonna have me doing the same damn thing all week, fuck you. You better change that shit up or I'm gone. I call my own shots. That's how it was. But Darren should know he was in a league where a player can't get to call their own shots. As far as, if, okay, I like saying, for example, we're gonna use this you ever seen this movie, The Replacements, with Keanu Reeves and they was playing as the replacement football players and Gene Hackman?
Yeah.
Okay. Gene Hackman told it was fourth and fourth in inches. Now Keanu made the right call as the quarterback. He made the right call on something. He told Gene Hackman, he said, Coach, if we run it, they're gonna stuff us. They're gonna stack the box. Still run the play. So Keanu was like, all right. But Keanu decided to change it because he saw the mismatch. They had 4 linemen and 4 linebackers. He's like, okay. He told the offense to spread it out. And Gene Hackman's role as the coach was mad as hell about that shit. He saw blitz. That's what they did. He popped that motherfucker to Orlando Jones. They won the game. But Gene Hackman got mad as hell about that shit. Then later on in the movies you saw, he told Keanu Reeves, yeah, looking back at it, you was right, I was wrong. You were right. He said that was a good call. But you can't, Darren should have knew, you can't go, you in a fucking NBA, you can't go into business for yourself with some of these little coaches, man. Especially especially with guys like the late great Jerry Sloans and the Phil Jacksons. I dare somebody. Imagine if Draymond Green decided to go into business for himself on Popovich. Or on a Jerry Sloan. Or on a Phil Jackson. I'll do one better. I don't even think if Lenny Wilkins, if the prime Lenny Wilkins that was coaching to get 1,000 wins was coaching this game, I don't even think Draymond Green had the nuts to step up to go into business for himself on Lenny Wilkins.
No.
Never.
Steve Kerr, in my opinion, he's a little too nice to Draymond Green. I think that's an issue there.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Kerr is a laid back dude, so he's not going to too much get on their case. Whereas Phil Jackson did not have to yell at you. It was rare that we saw Phil Jackson yelled here and there.
Phil said he pulled people one-on-one.
Yeah, it's been sometimes like a couple of times in on Lance Dance he was upset, but he rarely does that. But Phil Jackson understands psychology good enough to where he would have fixed Draymond Green ass. He would have fixed that ass. That's one thing. But Steve Kerr, he's passive. That's the downside about Steve Kerr. You know what I'm saying? He's a little passive compared to Phil Jackson. He's just a little too passive, and that's been the downside about Steve Kerr. You know what I'm saying? Is he's just too passive per se. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, Jerry Sloan, with him dying, I want to address the Darren Williams for a bit. Darren Williams only had 2 good seasons after leaving Utah, after being traded to Utah. He had a 21 point per game season. When he got to Utah in the middle of the season, he only averaged 15 points a game. And after those 2 seasons where he had 21 and 18 points a game, he averaged 14, 13, 15. His production declined heavily. And one of the reasons for that, like you said earlier, Jerry Sloan was a very underrated defensive guy. He was known for the flex mixture of the motion offense, but he was a very underrated defensive player. Karl Malone made 10 all NBA defensive teams. You know, Karl Malone wasn't going to shut you down, but you was damn sure not going to get easy baskets against him. Shaq found that
Right. Correct.
Because he was a better defender. He could defend Shaq better than what people realized it. You know, Shaq going, if he gets too low up in that post, okay, nobody's gonna stop that. But Karl Malone was able to deny the ball from Shaq, similar to Dennis Rodman. He was very physical, and he would push Shaq. He would literally push Shaq. You know, he would take advantage of the hand checking, which explains to a certain degree where they banned hand checking, because what Karl Malone would do with the hand check, what Willis Reed would do to Wilt Chamberlain, he would nudge him with the forearm and push him out the damn post to where he can't just dunk on him. The same thing Willis Reed did to Wilt Chamberlain, you know, to where because if Wilt Chamberlain get too far in that post, either one, Wilt Chamberlain's going to drop that turnaround jumper in your eye, or he's going to just straight dunk on you because he can jump out of the gym. So that was Karl Malone was doing. He taught him that little nudge, and he would push the shit out of Shaq. People said Karl Malone was like 250. He was somewhere around 270. He was stronger than what people gave him credit for. So that was he. You know, Jerry Sloan knew how to make guys better defensive players. John Stockton, the all-time leading steals leader. Darren Williams, when he was under Jerry Sloan, he was the only guy I ever seen shut down Chris Paul. It was a game where Chris Paul and Darren Williams both scored 4 points in a fucking game.
Mm-hmm.
They were shutting each other down. Both of them motherfuckers were like, I'm not going to let you score on me, and you damn sure ain't going to score on me. It was one of those games, but he was the only guy.
I think it was a playoff game. Yeah, it was a playoff game because Jerry was shaking. Jerry got him, shook his hand like, yes, like, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
That's the only dude I know defend Chris Paul. Other than that, you got dealt with Chris Paul. So he made Darren Williams play defense. And I felt like Darren Williams got in his feelings and be like, okay, you can't tell me shit no more. Jerry Sloan was like, man, the fuck you talking about? Because he was an all defensive player under Jerry Sloan. So was Carlos Boozer. You know what I'm saying? So in Carlos Boozer career declined heavily when he went to Chicago.
Oh God, man, man. You know, well, I don't mean to stop you right there, but I know you want to say something. Mm-hmm. Fuck Carlos Loser. But no. I mean, shout out to my guy Trey Murphy. He may have, you know, them Virgos have them little flip-floppy opinions. You know, they don't know if they want. You know, it's like you fix them a grilled cheese sandwich. They don't know if they want one side grilled and the other just plain Jane. Before they don't know if they want the before part of the grilled cheese or after you fix it. But Carlos, man, I mean, we thought the Bulls had a steal, and then against the Miami Heat, when his ass, some of them games when he didn't show up, but then when the Bulls got their ass kicking that fifth game, the man showed his ass up. I'm like, man, all this motherfucker did was just steal money. I was just gonna be honest. I felt Carlos Boozer, all he did was just stole money. I don't know what race, if he mixed with something or whatever, and this and that. He stole money from. Well, no, wait a minute. He stole money from everybody. Now, when he signed that 4-year deal, that 4-year, $68 million deal with Utah, yeah, he deserved it. He deserved it. But in fact, it was also, let me tell you what you didn't know. He originally he was originally at Cleveland when LeBron was there. And when the owner at the time, who was, you know, who has the same eye condition as my mother, you know, on a handshake deal, is what you didn't know. On the hand, that Carlos Boozer did some fucked up shit. That's why I said, don't mention this man to me. When he did a handshake deal, I think it was Robert Gund or something like that. and he died later on. He had a handshake deal, told that man he promised not to leave. And see, LeBron had lost a lot of respect for Carlos Boozer about that. Boozer went hit. Boozer got dipped on down, and Murph laughed about the shit, and he think it's funny. No, you know, the hand when you shake a man's hand, that's your word. When you shake another person's hand, no matter if you shake a man's hand or a woman shake a man's hand or another woman's hand or whatever, that's your word, man. You can't go back on that.
I agree. I agree.
And when he did what he did and signed that deal with Utah, I'm like, man, fuck that. That's a Carlos Boozer. He a gutless motherfucker. And not only that, he sued Prince.
You say he sued Prince.
He sued Prince.
He didn't win.
Google
I'm pretty
it.
sure he did.
Google it.
I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing
And
that.
Prince, and it was a house because what it was, Prince was renting one of Carlos Boozer's houses and said that, and you know, when he didn't know, he talking about he was suing the Prince and everything. That's when the judge was like, and the judge asked, he said, Mr. Boozer, can I ask you a question? He said, are you a fool? He said, Mr. Rogers Nelson has enough money to buy your house. Because Prince painted the driveway purple and put his logo on the shit. And Prince bought that house. I mean, Prince bought his house from him. So Prince got a house in LA, which was Carlos Boozer's old house. He was you know, and Carlos Boozer talked about that. He said, when I found out I was suing Prince, I was like, oh fuck, I done fucked up. And Prince did it. I mean, Prince Boozer did admit he was smelling his shit a little bit too much around at that time. That's why I just said, Jimmy, I mean, you know, we gonna move right along from him. I don't, you know, he an analyst for NBA TV now. I don't know what else he fucking doing, but that dude right there. I mean, you know, if you want to talk about the Duke version of Carlos Boozer, okay. The NBA version of Carlos Boozer, no, I don't want to talk about that.
Let me make this point here. His play declined when he left Jerry Sloan. I'm speaking this in the context of Jerry Sloan. I'm not speaking of Carlos Boozer on his personal life. I don't give a fuck about his personal life.
True.
And yes, he did try to sue Prince, and LA County judge threw that shit out. It was thrown out. He couldn't even. They laughed him out the courtroom for information purposes. His numbers declined tremendously to where he ended up out of the NBA at least 3 years after.
Yeah, because after the Lakers claimed off waivers and filed amnesty on him.
Yeah, so his play tremendously declined. Darren Williams' play declined. Carlos Boozer's play declined. So we have to take in. I'm speaking him from the context of Jerry Sloan. Jerry Sloan, number one, made your ass play defense. And if you couldn't play defense, you wasn't going to be on the floor because.
But you got to go before that, Coach K. My respected fellow Chicagoan, Coach K made his ass play defense too.
Well, you gonna play defense under fucking Coach K. That's no ifs, ands, and buts about that. You gonna play defense or you ain't gonna be on the floor. That's another person that's gonna put you on defense. So with two of the greatest offensive minds, you know, or some of the greatest offensive minds from Phil to Jerry Sloan, you know, I wish Jerry Sloan could have gotten him a championship, but you know, with the obstacles he was going up against, he did better than what people realized. And I'm thankful that he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
and I love the intensity he had as a coach and the caring that he had as a coach as well. So nevertheless, man, definitely rest in peace to Jerry Sloan. Rest in peace to I mean, my condolences to his family. And man, your legacy gonna live on in Utah, man, because you gave the
Most
Bulls
definitely.
all they could give. And Michael Jordan did push. I don't give a fuck what you say on the Last Dance. We'll talk about that later. But you did push
Yeah,
Byron
we'll talk
Russell.
about that on another show. But let me ask you this. Yeah, but let me ask you this question. It's a fan question coming from Craig
Mhm.
in South Haven, Mississippi, Jimmy. Or what if Jerry
Mhm.
Sloan was coaching the Bulls when Jordan was there? Would they have
Mm.
won? Would they have a three-peated 3 times, 2 times?
They would.
Think
They
about
would.
it.
They would.
That is the ultimate. Now I done put the cool questions right here.
Yes, they would have gotten 3
Say
championships.
what?
They would have gotten 3 championships, probably 6 under Jerry Sloan, because again, Jerry Sloan was a defensive minded coach. He was a team player type coach. He was a players coach. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, he's an Aries. You know, compared to most Aries, he was, pretty even tempered compared to most Aries, because most of the motherfuckers ain't got a temper to save their life. Most of my fights ended up with Aries, anyway. But nevertheless, he was very even tempered, and they're very intolerant. So with his
I
fire
know
and
Aries woman.
passion,
She fine as hell. You know,
oh yeah,
few
yeah,
Aries.
but
She was she's my classmate. She a teacher. She was the one that we did the. She gave us big props on that, by the way, too. Angie B.
mm-hmm.
The one about with the teachers and stuff like that. Yeah, she gave us some props on addressing that. She said she liked that. She liked how we broke that down. But anyway,
But I think they would have Scotty and Michael Jordan. I think it would have been the same under Jerry Sloan, because he was very defensively responsible. The thing was, when you're dealing with the greatest player of all time, what the hell? What can you do? What can you do? Nobody on that team. Byron Russell was a very great defender. He ain't finna stop no fucking Michael Jordan. Karl
no,
Malone, one of the best defenders of all time. What he gonna do against the Bulls? You know what I'm saying? So, it's one. I think Gary Sloan would have did just as great. I think the only thing was he had a sour taste in his mouth when they fired him in the early '80s, the Chicago Bulls, that is.
yeah,
So, nevertheless, they would have still got theirs.
right,
Uh, Nevertheless,
right. All right. Yeah, and agree with next. Let's see. All right. Like we always do on both our podcasts on the Jimmy J Smooth Network and on Let's Draw on Something. Jimmy J Smooth is gonna. I was gonna hurry up and see his car is ready right about now. He been waiting on it for the longest. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go ahead and give him the keys so he can take the wheel on this subject and off a video that he posted last night off of the Jimmy J Smooth Network. Uh, Jimmy J, you ain't black, so take the wheel on that.
this bitch ass Joe Biden, and we normally don't talk about politics on here, but we had to talk about this in particular because Joe Biden had a history of saying something racist. Talking about kids from the jungle comments up in 1977. He has a history of racism. And he gonna say, if I don't vote for Joe Biden, you not black. Again, I normally don't do politics, but Joe Biden need to shut the fuck up, because you're the reason why all those goddamn drug laws that disproportionately fucked over black people. You're the one of the people that co-signed those drug laws charges, those 3 strikes you're out charges. That some of my neighborhood friends end up going to jail and spending a shitload of time. You giving a motherfucker football numbers um for fucking selling dope when you economically deprive the community. when people like you helped economically deprive the black community, but yet you want to give people football numbers for trying to make a damn living. Granted, I do not co-sign people selling drugs. I do not co-sign that. However, I understand it because a lot of times most of these cities economically deprive people of resources for making them a simple mistake, or they economically deprive people of resources for uh making a mistake that people, because there's a lot of black people that was thrown in jail that didn't commit a crime. But because of people like Joe Biden, they put things in place to where black people was highly affected by it and got fucked off on it. So he was a member of those three strike charges. I mean, those 3 strike laws that put into place. And I had arguments about, voting today, and people wanted to put their capes on for Joe Biden. Shut your motherfucking tap dancing, eyes bucking, back alley buck dancing. I'm tired of you motherfuckers caping for motherfuckers ass motherfuckers and don't know your fucking history. Before you come debate me, anybody who want to talk about politics or politricks, as I call that shit, motherfucker, you better be ready to step in that line then and get burnt like genital herpes, because I will flame your ass up. Half you motherfuckers cannot debate me on politics, period. Because you don't know shit about politics. You don't know what it takes to get shit done in politics. You don't do enough. You motherfuckers don't even know how to get a fundraiser to get a agenda prophesized. So motherfucker, don't talk to me about that goddamn shit. Now back on Ho Biden. Ho Biden want to talk about you're not black. And I've tried to help put in the civil rights bill, which is some bullshit. First of all, the civil rights bill is a fucking farce, because one word took away a lot of shit from black people. They added minorities in the 1964 civil rights bill, in the 1968 civil rights bill. Look this up. This ain't me making something up. This ain't me bumping my gums. That's indisputable fact. Minorities is on the civil rights bill. As a matter of fact, you put civil rights bill 1964, civil rights bill 1968. Minorities is on the bill. It wasn't specifically used for black people. That's not to say other groups of people should not be protected under the law. All people should be protected under the law, but in that particular case, black people was more oppressed than anybody in that country, and nobody else should have been on the bill before black people. That's just because we built this fucking country. You motherfuckers this motherfucker want to talk about, well, immigrants built this fucking country. That's another motherfucking lie, because slaves built this goddamn country. If it wasn't for fucking slavery, goddamn it, slavery, if it wasn't for slavery, you don't have Wells Fargo. You don't have Wachovia. You don't have banks like Chase Bank.
Hold up, Wachovia. Well, Wells Fargo. Wachovia is a part of Wells Fargo, but continue.
Yeah, but they still got their start in what? Slavery. Smith and Wesson. The people that was building Smith and Wesson guns were slaves. Indisputable fact. You can't even dispute that.
Jack Daniels whiskey was created by a slave too.
Thank you.
But let me repeat that. Let me repeat that. I mean, I'm gonna let you continue because I gotta make a run in a second. I'm a Jack Daniels Ever Williams guy and a Canadian Richard Rare guy, but Jack Daniels is my prime favorite. Jack Daniels was created by a slave, by a black man, and a white guy stole his shit.
Matter of fact, he was a slave owner. The guy Jack Daniels was a slave owner in his own self. He stole it from one of the slaves he was enslaving. But nevertheless, we built this fucking country. Black people built this country. Everything y'all build afterwards, y'all came afterwards. But for the most part, we built this goddamn country. And for Joe Biden to sit up there and disrespect black people when they specifically asked the question about what you gonna do for black people, and you skipped over this motherfucker, don't tell me I'm not black. Motherfucker, you ain't black. You ain't classified as black. You might got a percentage of black in your DNA, but you're not classified as black. So sit your goddamn Ho Biden goddamn putting your motherfucking ass down with your fucked up ass receding hairline having ass motherfucker. You not gonna disrespect black people like that and expect me not to fire your ass up because on our podcasts, normally we don't talk about politics, but I have to specifically get on this motherfucker's ass because this motherfucker too goddamn far. And I want to get on DJ Set Me Up Charlemagne bitch ass.
And hold it thought. And also, just because we mentioned something about politics, that don't necessarily mean you gonna get us to start talking about politics. We ain't no political guys. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a Democrat. Okay. What they call that, lefty, righty. What Republicans the righty, the Democrats the lefty. You know, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
So I'm a lefty, which means Democrat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a lefty, but huh?
Well, go ahead.
You know, I ain't even trying to confuse my ass, but I'm Democrat, okay? But lately, all I'm gonna say is this: I was more impressed when Obama was in presidency, but with all these Democrats, the Democrats that's coming up now, I'm not impressed. But I'm finna make a run right quick. But continue. I think because right now you at a stoplight, and I think on the other side of me, Jimmy is on the caution. So yes, at red. Continue to go ham on what's his face.
Yeah, but whole Biden with his fucked up receding hairline having ass. He should have been G-checked by DJ Set Me Up Charlemagne. And the fact that DJ Charlemagne did not G-check him for saying that racist ass, fucked up ass shit when he has not done a goddamn thing for black people. He has not provided any kind of intangible for black people. He's not even passed any laws that were remotely beneficial for black people. This motherfucker sat up there and talked about his number one goal is to help LGBT people and fucking other minority groups, which is a nothing burger for black people. Don't come to me talking about nothing burgers and talking about, well, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. If you vote for Trump, if you're not black. For all I give a fuck, Trump staying there for another 4 more goddamn years. That's not going to benefit me one way or another because your white supremacy ain't no better than Trump's white supremacy. So let's get that fucking straight. We're just changing slave masters. That's the only fucking thing we're doing. But you want to talk about, well, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. Motherfucker, fuck you. You don't go to the Chinese store, the Chinese community and talk about they're not Chinese because they don't vote for you. You don't go to the Mexican people and say they're not Mexican because they won't vote for you. Miss me with that goddamn bullshit. You ain't did. Black people don't owe you shit, Ho Biden. That's why I call you Ho Biden. All you motherfuckers that's co-signing that shit, get your goddamn tap shoes. And again, don't stay off my goddamn post. If only thing you can do is, well, we need to vote because our ancestors died for voting. Fuck you. Our ancestors also died for us to be empowered. Our ancestors died for us to have businesses to pass down wealth. Ancestors died for a lot of different reasons. But if none of these motherfuckers is going to do something about these bitch-ass race soldiers out here killing black people on a daily basis, if they're not going to do anything to provide reparations, because I'm not Democrat or Republican. I'm whoever going to provide reparations and equal protection under the law. That's who I'm for. If you going to provide equal protection under the law and is true to that agenda, I'll vote for you. And that goes for any Republican or Democrat or independent or whatever. If they gonna provide equal protection under the law and reparations like they did for the Japanese, like they did for the Native Americans, like they did for other minority groups other than black people, because they ain't did a goddamn thing for black people. They black people 40 acres and a mule like they supposed to give us 40 acres and a mule. If you're not talking about that, fuck you. I'm not voting for you. I'm not thinking about voting for you. And I can do the same goddamn thing I did 4 years ago as I do the next 4 goddamn years. So, Ho Biden, sit your black ass down. Sit your whole ass down. We don't owe you shit, and we're never gonna give you shit. With that type of talk, you're not gonna walk in my house and expect to make a sale. Expect How the fuck you gonna be a salesman? Expect me to buy your funky ass product, and you don't even respect me. Come in my house and don't respect me. Does that make sense? How you
It
gonna
doesn't.
how you gonna campaign? How you gonna get in a relationship with somebody, and the only thing you can provide is nothing? You think a person gonna want to be with you if you can't provide them some type of emotional support, some type of intangible, some type of asset to them? Hell no. And that's the problem with a lot of people do. But nevertheless, Hope I need to sit his ass down, and DJ Charlemagne need to sit his funky ass down as well. So that's my rant on Hope Biden, and that's all I'm gonna say about that disrespectful ass piece of shit.
Well, I don't have nothing to say on that, but Jimmy has basically just spoke for everybody on that. Like I said, I ain't no political guy, but man, let me hold on. Let me double down and back up on something. I was shocked at those comments. When he said that you're not black, I'm like, whoa, Joe, wait a minute, really? Now, Jimmy, you may want to tell me to get you off your live feed a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Joe won my respect as vice president when he put Sarah Palin in check, because they do when they what was that back in 2008. He put Sarah Palin, he G-checked the shit out of Sarah Palin talking about with the single parent thing. And he told Sarah Palin, he said, Sarah, with all due respect, Governor Palin doesn't know about being a single parent. I was a single parent, said, well, my first wife and my daughter were killed in an automobile accident. He said, and I raised my sons by myself. And he said, and when my second wife came along, they started calling her mom. He said, I would take my sons, because I don't know if he said if it's one of his sons or one of his daughters that died, whichever one. But I know now he got two sons and two daughters. Okay. He said when he was studying for law and doing what he had to do, he didn't believe in having a babysitter. He won my respect on that part. What parent wouldn't? The old saying is you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay. But that you ain't black comment. Mm.
Yeah,
I can't back him up on that. I'm sorry. I can't just can't do it. Just can't do it, bro. Man, I'm calling my boy Murphy. I gotta hit him up. Jimmy, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I just can't do it.
Me neither, bro. I can't do it, brother.
No, I'm sorry. That's like if well, that's like if I'm a black man and if I'm on your show and you're a white guy, Jimmy, what are they like saying? You ain't white, so you can't vote for me. If you didn't vote for me, you ain't white. I'm a black man. I'm a black man trying to help y'all out too, long, my people. If you ain't white and you didn't vote for me, you not white. You know. I'm sounding like a white person. And I'm not racist. I'm just putting it out there. I ain't racist. Jimmy said it best. A black person don't know how to be racist. A black person don't have to know more how to be president than they are racist. I am prejudiced, yes, not racial prejudice. I despise a street nigga. I hate street niggas. Shit. They the worst form of grown ups you can ever associate yourself with. But yeah, Jimmy, everything you said, you just you clarified it up. Did this man just disappear?
I had to say real quick, brother.
Damn,
I
Jimmy,
dropped.
you got a lot going on, don't you wait, whoa. I'm gonna buzz my boy out here. You do you
Oh
got
no,
it? You got do you got some do you got some special Do you got some special full figure company over at the house I don't know that I don't know about?
I just took a,
Suckers got to know. Wait a minute, suckers got to know, because if you got some full figure company over there with a nice set of legs, we were in the live stream right now and let you handle your business.
no, I did a simple step out. You gotta spit, man. You gotta spit. This your show, my boy. This your show.
I
Boy.
know it is, but I'm just,
You gotta,
and you
you
can co-host too there. We tagged.
gotta
Suckers got to know.
no, we good, man. But do your thing, man.
All
Do
right.
your thing.
All right. The Last Dance documentary. I have got to say, as much as Jimmy J and I have been sick and tired of ESPN, and I still say it to this day that Fox Sports produces the best debate show ever. I love some Skip and Shannon. Even my ex-wife, when they first premiered, I tweeted Shannon Sharp this when she said something. It was something what Shannon Sharp said about this Kaepernick ordeal. I forgot what it was, and he gave me the props on that. He said, tell her thank you. First of all, I'm gonna say this on before I get on the subject. Skip and Shannon Undisputed is the best morning show ever. Ain't no holds bar between them two. And then you got an opinion on Skip Bayless, but Skip won my respect, with the race deal when he said that when you call another African, when a person of his color calls an African American a thug, he said that's code for saying the N-word. Man, I was like, whoa, Skip does it, damn. And I remember I was in the Rocket City Barbershop. Shout out to y'all, Huntsville, Alabama, off on Pulaski Pike, Jordan Lane, Pulaski Pike. Love you guys. Best damn barbers ever. When they put it on the head, and when Skip said that, the barbershop, I was like, whoa. It was like, man, that and one of them said that's some real shit there. That was some real shit he said. Skip Bayless said, My thoughts on the last documentary, in one word I can describe this, and I'm gonna put it over to my co-host. One word I can describe this was very well fucking. Ain't no one word, it's plenty of words. Very well fucking put together by ESPN. It was well worth the wait. It was fucking well worth the wait. I don't want anybody. I got on the Jimmy JSmoove network before I got my laptop on and got back on here for episode 40. Let's draw on something. Jimmy JSmoove told everybody, y'all ain't got no business telling Craig about what the fuck he don't know about Chicago if y'all ain't lived it.
Totally.
I got on Jimmy McWright's show and told him all about Juanita, who's doing well for herself. And for the side on some side notes, I said that the oldest boy, I don't want to call you that. Sorry, Jeffrey. Michael Jordan's oldest son, Jeffrey, had ran into my cousin, Miss Blanche McBride. Recognized her right off the bat. And also for the record, and here was something else I didn't know. Mike was the one that hired my cousin. All decisions went through Mike. But Miss Juanita decided to go into business for herself and, let her go because she just asked for a small pay raise. Wasn't nothing large. Nothing. Because the original plan for my cousin Blanche Ruth McBride, shout out to Raymond Irby and this, and that's his mom. What's up, cousin Raymond? The original plan was this. Ruth was going to be MJ's personal cook. And anytime if the kids liked how she kept up the house and everything, and anytime the kids tell their mama, you can't cook. We like how we like how Miss Blanche cooked. what that tell you? Mike was the one that made the hire, but it was Juanita that was, I'm gonna, excuse me, ladies, pulled her bitch card on her and didn't want to retain her, and she didn't ask for much as far as money. She was gonna travel with Mike, more like be like a mother figure, like whatever it is he need cook or whatever stuff like that. That would have been a cool fucking gig. So if anybody think that my mom's side from they got my mom's side families, most of them got some more fuck niggas in the family, but they had some interesting lives. Okay. Man, I would say I wish I could have met him. Even if I did, if I even told my pops one time, I said, man, if me and you had took a picture with Bret and Owen Hart, and the rest of the Hart Foundation in '97, they still wouldn't believe us. But anyway, I thought that the documentary was well put together. We learned some things about some people. Steve Kerr really was, his background was something. Because he said his father got killed in Beirut, right? He said because he was a freshman at 17 years old when his father got killed over there in Beirut when he just started at Arizona. We also learned that back in the '93 finals, John Paxson admitted, even though he was a terrible GM for the Bulls later on, John Paxson admitted the play wasn't drawn up for him to take that last shot. He said, but somehow MJ in his own way improvised it. I was like, because he said, when I saw I wasn't nobody around me and I was wide open, he said, he's damn, I got the last, he said, I'm finna take this last shot. Paxson was a hell of a 3-point shooter, man, and he a very underrated defender.
Oh, we saw that in the Lakers series.
Yep.
When he played the Lakers, his 3-point shot, especially in Game 5, was very significant in the Bulls in the Bulls advancing. So continue, sir.
Yeah. So I enjoyed the series. Now, the takeaway was what I said on Jim McWright's show. That little fat fuck, God rest his soul, I like speak ill of the dead, was petty. His pettiness ended the Bulls. And when Jackie McCullum from Boston Globe said that, revealed that Tim Floyd not only showed up, she said that when they went to Jerry Krause's wedding, they said everybody saw him there. He was there on several occasions in the Bulls office while Phil was there. That was a nice little reveal. Jerry Krause, the little fat fuck, was petty because him and Phil didn't get along. Jerry Reinsdorf, and when your owner basically tell you, Jimmy, that's like if I say this. You the general manager of my team, right? And if you felt the coach wronged you some way, had badmouthed you some way, and if I put you off and say, and if I'm tell you like this, say, look here, Jimmy, I'm speaking. I ain't speaking. I'm not talking to you as owner and general manager. I'm talking to you as we talking to like as real niggas up in here, real G's up in there. Okay, do your fucking job and let that damn shit go. Let it go, cause I said, cause I'm telling you what. Yeah, you grown man. You feel nobody need to tell you, but I'm as your boss. I'm telling your ass what to do. Let that damn shit go. Exactly. Let it go. Reinsdorf should have did that. I'm telling you, as a grown ass man, let it go. You don't let it go, you gonna be out the door.
Exactly.
That's what Reinsdorf, and that's what Reinsdorf should have told Jerry Krause. But no, Jerry Krause got petty And Reinsdorf he basically said that he was petty. So he said he decided to step in. And I give Jerry Ryan, even though Jerry Reinsdorf is cheap, I give him credit for admitting that he was trying to save the Bulls. He didn't give a damn what Jerry Krause said. Because I feel like this here. When the top of the food chain got to step in, that's your ass. Your job is basically on the line. When your people underneath you tell you do not hire Jerry Krause because he's petty, he petty like that, he hold grudges, he don't know how to let go, and you still hire him, that's on you. But the premise of everything, I give him credit. I mean, hey, he did good. He did the trade for get Scottie Pippen over, then turn around, he drafted Horace Grant. Which the Horace Grant MJ shit I don't want to get into. We ain't getting into that, Jimmy. Nothing. No. Not now. Never. Fuck it. But overall, it was 10 of 10. But let me go ahead and Jerry Krause did make some good moves, but when Reinsdorf called Phil Jackson over, and I agree with Shannon Sharp on this. Jerry Reinsdorf should have offered Phil, what if I sign you for 2 to 3 years? Your third year be the option. Would you come on back? And if Phil had said yes, you know what? I'm going to say it like this here. And this is historical coming from a Bulls fan. I think in the shortened season, the Spurs wouldn't have won their first ever championship with the franchise championship. But I also think in the following year, the Larry Bird coach Pacers would have put the Bulls out because that 99-2000 Pacers was fucking hungry. They were playing till they ran into Phil Jackson and Kobe and Shaq. They were playing like beasts. If you want to tell me otherwise, and really you can't debate me on it. Whereas you can't debate Jimmy about with politics and everything else. You can't debate me about as far as how and also I speak for Jimmy on this. You can't debate him about how he lived his life, how he lived his life in the past, and how he live it now. You can't debate me about how I lived my life growing up. You can't debate. You will never win a debate, and it is not in your position to debate me about Chicago. I lived in Chicago from the time I was born until I was 11 years old. I didn't turn 12 till I moved here. You can't debate me about Chicago, and hell, even while here, I still was getting inside scoop from Chicago. You cannot debate me on that. You can't debate me on sports. You can't debate me on comic books. You can't debate me on my drawing or art or whatever. Or anything. You will not win. You will not win. But when I say it, I honestly think the 99-2000 Pacers would have beat the Bulls, would have beaten Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Phil Jackson, and Dennis Rodman if they had came back. They were just too damn hungry, and they were Jimmy, and you can agree they were just too damn good. Reggie, for one, at 35 years old, was more hungry for this shit. Larry Bird coached them for 4 years. They ain't never missed the playoffs. Gets fired because the GM, I got to have Isaiah Thomas. And Larry Bird told him, you get Isaiah Thomas over me, I'm out. And under Isaiah Thomas, they would barely make the playoffs. How you gonna go from the number 1 seed in the East one year under Larry Bird to an 8th seed the following season with the same players?
That's odd.
But overall, if you haven't seen it up there in Chicago, WLS Channel 7, ABC, they're gonna be showing it all. I think they said all Memorial Day weekend. Catch it for all you young cats out there. Watch it on the ESPN app, in which Jimmy J and I, we both try to catch it live, but we realized that we have to watch it the next following day. Because when you watch it live, that's when the good shit be on there. Now, shout out to my fellow four horsemen, Mario Smith. Let me bring up this one little point. The Michael Jordan and Isaiah Thomas beef. I'm like Mario. I believe there's more to that story, dog, because I believe it's more personal than anything. I don't know what it
Mm-hmm.
is. We're not going to speculate what it is, but I believe Jordan is still pissed with Isaiah about something. And even though Magic said he friends with both of them, he told him, he said it on the view. He said, "Look, I'll be 61 years old in August. Isaiah be 59 and Mike 57 when and Isaiah is gonna be 60 before Mike is. We too old to be still carrying this weight on." He told me he said on the view, he said, "Guys, whatever it is, talk it over, let it go." I'm like my boy Mario. I believe there's something more personal to the story. And fuck you, Bill Lambier. You know what your ass
Exactly.
did. Fuck you, Bill Lambier.
E-
Larry Bird said it right. Fuck you. That's why Larry Bird don't like your motherfucking ass, bitch.
Exactly.
Dirty playing ass. But
Yeah. Exactly.
I agree with my boy Mario Smith on it. It's something way deeper than that between Isaiah and Mike. But overall, it was a very well put together documentary by ESPN. Oh, and by the way, now they want to come up with something for Tom Brady. Oh, how convenient. Um,
With his bunk ass.
mm-hmm. But I have nothing negative to say about anything. You know, you learn a lot about players. I was shocked to see BJ Armstrong because, you know, BJ said he was not a young rookie, he was naive. And he said he got better by learning about Jordan. And he said when he went to Charlotte, he clowned. You know, we saw the real BJ Armstrong, you know. Uh, we learned about Robin. We don't need to get into that. We don't. And I mean, shoot. I mean, that was about it. But overall, the only negative thing I have to say about it is I have nothing negative to say at all. It was very well put together. And I think and I really think some of these documentaries, man, they need to be a little bit, they need to be done like this. I mean, uh, I recommend, and Jimmy, if you have the Viceland TV app on your phone or on your computer or on your television, I recommend you check out season 1 and season 2 of Dark Side of the Ring about wrestling deaths and stuff like that. That is a damn good series, man. Because the season 2 finale was about Owen Hart, the death of Owen Hart. Um, I mean, Last Dance was very well put together, and I have nothing bad to say about it. What you think?
Me neither. We didn't get on the sixth and the eighth, but those episodes was great. Every episode that we saw, it was great, and I have absolutely no complaints about the Last Dance. Absolutely none. And from what I heard, from my understanding, Phil Jackson was like an executive producer on the Last Dance. He had
That's
say
true.
so in what they put out of the Last Dance, um, which it was rumored, and I'm gonna say rumored for because I can't confirm this, but it was rumored Scottie Pippen was mad about some of the things they revealed in the Last Dance. Now, if that's
No, that
true,
was true because
go ahead, go ahead.
Fox Sports had Undisputed was talking about it. Everybody felt to cast Pippen in bad light, and some people felt to cast Pippen in the way he was portrayed. But the most shocking thing, though, was that he was the most underpaid player there ever was. That was shocking, you know. But Scott, I'm put like this: Scotty shouldn't feel salty about the shit. I mean, you know, and he went along with it. I mean, what was when plus he's a Libra, so Why? I mean, I can't have nothing to say about it. I mean, cause what they portrayed about Scotty in there, it was just dead on. I mean, because I did nothing against Scotty as a player personally or on his personal life. Fuck that. I like Scotty Pippen, you know, but maybe people
Mm,
felt he didn't step up in the documentary like they was supposed, like they wanted him to. They probably felt they wanted they wanted the ESPN in NBA Inside Jump Scottie Pippen, not the Scottie Pippen that you saw in the documentary.
yeah, but the thing about this documentary, he should not have been mad at MJ or Phil Jackson because they both revealed a lot of things that they normally didn't reveal. Now, what shocked me more than anything was Phil Jackson was on drugs. And
Yeah, he
that,
said he admitted that he was on meth.
yeah, we understand that. I understand that, but I I didn't know that personally because with
Mm-hmm.
the how humble, Phil Jackson is a very humbled and down to earth dude. So I wouldn't have guessed that in 1,000 years that
Man,
he was on that shit. But
yeah, he
he
said he wasn't on it a lot, but he said he would be buzzed out from it. He said, but when it came to getting down to business on that court, you couldn't tell he was high. He was kicking ass, and
hell of
he
a
cleaned
defensive guy.
himself up.
Yeah, hell of a defensive player, um, in his own right. You know what I'm saying? So that Michael Jordan revealed a lot of things about himself. He revealed some
Mm-hmm.
questionable things in his personal life, which
I do admire.
uh,
I mean, in which some of the things he did say was
yeah, he
what I
did say,
confirmed, and
yeah,
some
a
of the
lot of
things,
things.
what a lot of things I confirmed on your show, on the Jimmy J Smooth show, and some of the things that you know I didn't know about because I was younger at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So and I was
Yes.
intrigued about that.
Mm-hmm. So with that being said, Michael Jordan did not pull no punches in terms of his personal life, in others' personal life. You know, now Ticket TV did criticize him about not supporting that brother against Jesse Helms.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah.
That's that. Now that I know what I know about politics now,
Mm-hmm.
in his position, he could have pulled him pulled his coat. But now that I know about politicians, what I know about politics now, I'm to a certain degree with him on not supporting the guy. Now he did donate to the campaign. I think the donation speaks louder than words because I'm the
Right,
type of person that you're gonna get into politics, you need to have some say so. But what I think Michael Jordan should have did was he should have asked him for some specifics and stuff like that. He could have done
right.
that. He does power, so that's a double-edged sword. Now that I know what I know about politics, I won't
Mm-hmm.
hold that. But he did do some questionable things, and there was a lot of stuff in Michael Jordan's personal life that they didn't reveal either. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So,
Right,
but
the
we.
political thing, yeah, I understood that. I mean, and shout out to Ticket
Mhm,
TV. I mean, he should have understood that a little bit better as to, really be a little bit better.
mhm. Yeah,
It's
but
not cause
I
it's not
understand.
just cause your skin color. Because let me be honest with you, you got white players. That I don't know if it's true or not, Jimmy, but correct me if I'm wrong. You got some white professional athletes that'll contribute more to an African American's campaign for any kind, whether governor, senator, president, more than anything.
Mhm. Yeah, you do got some out there that
And that's
have
true.
done. You
But
have some
I felt
people.
Ticket, he dove head first, and nothing. I'm not bad mouthing him personally. I like listening to Ticket stuff. I like to have him on. You and I would both like to have him on both our shows. I feel he just dives head first into things that he doesn't know too much about.
I agree with that. I agree with that
I
assessment
mean,
because
because I mean, he be in his feelings, and when he be in that mode, man, it's just sometimes you know, ticket is like is like I'm not saying about mine. Ticket just like the ex wife that just won't shut up, don't won't listen to a voice of reason.
I mean, he has reason to clown some of them people because, like,
Now
as of
some
late,
people now,
about,
but hold on, but now some folks he do have a reason to clown, but with
mhm,
stuff like this
in particular, yeah.
in particular, sometimes tickets just need to just hey keep them ears open and
Mhm.
just put your volume down a little bit. Because I'm the kind of
Mm,
person, like if I'm telling you the truth and you finna go on and on and on, what's the point of me talking to you?
because like it was one point, like with the Bill Russell conversation, which I say you could argue Bill Russell as being the GOAT. You could argue it because he has 11 championships.
Mm-hmm.
And he went into this thing about Bill Russell's field goal percentage and him not never being the leading scorer. But however, there were 4 NBA finals, particular NBA finals, that Bill Russell would have easily been the MVP of the NBA finals if the MVP had have existed. You know, because Jerry West got the first NBA Finals MVP in a losing effort. A lot of people don't know that he has probably the highest scoring average before Michael Jordan averaged 41 points a game at that
Right.
particular time. But he went into this spiel about Bill Russell not being able to score. One of the reasons why the Lakers got Wilt Chamberlain was to stop Bill Russell from scoring because in because I think they played the Lakers 7 times out of the 11 times they played. And in few of those NBA Finals games, Bill Russell had 32 points and 40 rebounds, 35 points and 42 rebounds. Bill Russell has some of the only 40 plus rebound games in him and Wilt Chamberlain has the only 40 plus rebound games in uh in NBA Finals history.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill Russell has like at least 4 of those 40 rebound games, but he also scored a hell of a lot of points, which would have gave him the MVP had the MVP actually existed. So his argument uh, on Bill Russell not being the greatest, his argument was kind of flawed to a certain degree.
Oh, very.
I'm
I
not.
listened to it. It was very flawed.
It was flawed to us. It was flawed. Now I'm not going to dispute him. I'm not going to dispute that Michael Jordan is the GOAT. I'm not going to dispute you there. However, that does not mean it cannot be disputed because Bill Russell put in enough work when it mattered the most and did his thing. That's just like saying Terry Bradshaw wasn't a great quarterback. Now, statistically speaking, no, he wasn't a great
No, he
quarterback, but
wasn't a great quarterback, but he Hall of Fame.
but he's in the Hall of Fame because of his 2 Super Bowl MVPs and his ability to do his thing when it mattered most. So
Yep.
that's kind of like I think Bill Russell made more contributions than if you compare the two. But I'm just making an example for those who don't understand the game of basketball. Yes, Bill Russell was a 44% field goal shooter. However, he controlled the game on the defensive end and he controlled the game on the rebounding standpoint. You know, so he controlled the game to where he did not have to score. He did enough in the game to control the game and let his teammates do his thing. And then he was a leader on the basketball team. You know what I'm saying? Some of the things that Bill Russell said to some of his teammates, it was crazy. Michael Jordan was an asshole when it comes to his teammates. Bill Russell was an asshole when it came to teammates. Magic Johnson was a whole asshole. Y'all see the nice
Mm-hmm.
smiling Magic Johnson with the smile and skinning and grinning, but goddamn, Magic Johnson in them practice, oh man, he gave you that business. And
I heard.
a lot of that is a tribute to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. and because I'm making an education standpoint right now, Kareem really made Magic into the person that he was in. I'm gonna tell you why I say this, and you may disagree with me. People who know basketball, who don't know basketball from the perspective, may disagree with me, and I understand. I would understand it. When Magic first came on the scene, he was going to be a Hall of Famer with his talent alone. He came in the NBA 6'9" point guard, run up and down the floor like a damn gazelle, and did his goddamn thing. But it was one game where Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did a 18-foot goddamn skyhook and won the game. Now, even though he won the game, he pulled Magic Johnson to the side, and from that point on, he made him a leader at that point. That to go along with the NBA Finals game.
Passing the torch, so to speak.
But he told him, he was like, look, I know you passed me the ball, and I know I scored the skyhook from 18 feet, but you're going to have to learn how to get me in better situations than that. Magic Johnson admit this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you doing a bad thing, but I'm saying you're going to have to put me in a better position than this. He pulled Magic Johnson's coat and forced that kid to be in a fucking leadership position. He called Magic Johnson on the telephone. He had that injury. He was like, Magic, you're going to have to score 40 points to win this goddamn game. If you don't score 40 points, you're going to lose. Not only Magic Johnson scored 40 points and 15 rebounds and 7 assists, Jamal Wilkes, who is an NBA Hall of Famer, should have been a goddamn Hall of Famer as far as I'm concerned, scored 37 points. Had Jamal Wilkes not scored 37 points or Magic Johnson scored their 40, they would have lost. They would have lost by 20. You know what I'm saying? So Kareem made him the player that he is from a leadership position. You know, not from a basketball position, because he was going to be a great basketball player, but he forced Magic to be a leader of the team. Talent alone was going to get him there, but he wouldn't have won 5 championships without the leadership position. That's why Magic Johnson can be on that practice and cuss all the man. Magic Johnson cussed everybody ass out. Them like their practices were intense. Don't let the smile fool you. Magic is humble now because he didn't caught AIDS and he's rumored not to have AIDS, by the way. But that's a whole nother conversation. We're gonna have
urban legend. We're gonna say, well, can't say rumored, urban legend.
Yeah,
urban legend and rumors are not the same thing, people. Urban legend, it's more, you know.
It can be argued. I'll say that because of the guy, because of the person he was receiving his medication from, and even Cookie had blurted this out. But that's a whole nother conversation. Once we get into that conversation, I'm gonna break this down to a science. And it's supposed to be a documentary that goes into that, by the way. So it's going to reveal a lot of things, and I'll just tell you on another show. But nevertheless, Magic was a fucking leader on that position. So anybody who want to criticize Michael Jordan for how big of an asshole he is, yes, he's an asshole. He's a Aquarius. Aquarius are patient people, but they're wishy-washy people from time to time, but they're good friends. And I've said this on the show multiple times. Anybody who want to criticize Michael Jordan on how he did his teammates, he was like, if you don't want to play like that, then don't fucking play like that. He said it best. But he ain't the only person that was an asshole. Hell, I'm going to go as far as this. LeBron James in practice? Oh, you see that skinning and grinning nigga? He be saying some slick ass shit. Craig be going at this, but LeBron James be cussing his goddamn teammates out at practice.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. Jimmy might agree with. Hey, what everybody talking about? Oh, LeBron ain't like that. Nah. Jimmy Wright confirmed it. Goddamn it.
Hey, on that camera, LeBron has that big ass smile. Well, LeBron.
That's them Capricorn. I call them right. That's them Capricorns anyway.
That ain't no. That I know some people who knew LeBron James. Trust me, they not gonna lie on LeBron.
That's some damn Capricorns, man. They're you know. They'll smile. They'll be
Hey,
smile. They'll be smiling in your face, but boy,
you see,
behind closed
you
doors, they
see how
talking all kinds of cash money shit.
you see how he went off on Kyrie Irving in that game, and he came back and and bumped his chest out. Why do you think so many goddamn teammates is leaving LeBron James?
Mm-hmm.
A
And then
lot
when
of guys
Kyrie
do.
Irving, then when Kyrie Irving left, LeBron talking about some, you supposed can't talk to me. You ain't gotta come talk to your ass about like getting your permission, like you the fucking like you fucking Don Corleone of the NBA. Man, sit your ass down.
Yeah, LeBron be cussing motherfuckers out. Hell, Kobe went without saying. Kobe's a fucking wishy-washy ass Virgo, so that's understandable. He
Well,
won't.
okay. Well, hold up. Don't even put Kobe Bryant in the same. Don't even put LeBron and Kobe in the same sentence. Kobe is the second Michael
Mhm.
Jordan because he wasn't getting on their ass because Jeremy Lin said something about the trade deadline. Said Kobe never spoke to us until then. He said, "Oh, I was just getting to know y'all bum asses come because trading deadline come up." He said, "I ain't got nothing but a bunch of bum ass dudes on my team." He said, "So I'm
I'm
just getting
putting
to know y'all." He said, "So I'm just getting to know y'all before when the trade deadline come up."
Mhm.
I'm like, damn. Now that's what Jeremy Lin said. I said, I believe that. Now I like Kobe. Now, I mean, I've always said MJ between MJ, Scotty, and Kobe. Kobe basically it represent the last of the old school. And
Mhm.
I sent on Jimmy McWright's I sent him through Messenger on Sports Talk Tribute. Stone Cold Steve Austin had a damn good tribute to Kobe, man. You heard it?
Yeah, and
It
this is
was
not to
good,
disparage,
man. It was
and
pretty
and that,
good.
and I don't say that to disparage Kobe, but Kobe wanted to win so bad at all costs that he was an asshole. So if you're gonna criticize Michael Jordan, criticize LeBron, criticize hell Kareem. Kareem was an asshole among teammates. Hell, Wilt Chamberlain was an asshole. So it's
Mm-hmm.
some of your greatest players were the biggest assholes among whether it's among teammates, whether it's among fans in history. So Michael Jordan just get that stigma because he's MJ. He's supposed to be this, or at least the media is supposed to paint him as the perfect person, but that ain't the case. When you trying to win that big chip, when you trying to win the Larry O'Brien Trophy and get the Bill Russell Award when you win that championship, you're gonna be the biggest asshole in history. But please continue, brother.
Yeah, so I mean, Kobe represents the last of the old school, but like we was talking about with the Last Dance, best damn documentary ever, the best. It was well worth the wait. And my boy Jimmy gave his 2 cents on it. Um, I hope they produce something. I hope ESPN can produce something like this from here on out.
Oh yeah, yeah, and like I say, I'm proud of Phil Jackson and everybody who contribute to the Last Dance, and much respect to everybody that contribute to that particular show. I enjoyed every minute of it, and much respect to everybody on
But
that
what I
show,
was
man.
shocked about,
Mm-hmm.
they kept focusing on Scott Burrell. Scott Burrell never had a bad thing to say about Jordan. He got that one championship, then he got on down. I think Scott said he retired and started wanting to delve into coaching. Now he coaches at Southeast Connecticut State University. He's a head coach there.
I can
And
respect that.
and
I mean,
Danielle Marshall, he's a coach at a Connecticut University too.
mm-hmm.
So I mean, yes, I mean Scotty Burrell, he's focusing on Scotty Burrell and stuff like that, but you know, hey, like I said, much love with that last dance documentary. I enjoyed the shit out of it. And
Mm-hmm.
again, I dare y'all to challenge. Matter of fact, I dare y'all, some of y'all, to challenge me about my knowledge about the city of Chicago and what went on up there by the time I was here.
Mm-hmm.
I dare you. You can't compete with me on that. So, with that being
Definitely.
said, Jimmy, plug your show. I gotta make a run right fast. And I'll be right back, peoples.
Okay, this your boy live and direct. Those who are listening, or rather, they're listening on the playback or listening live and direct, man, definitely come to my show, the Jimmy J Smooth Network. I'm proud of all the 265 people that are subscribed to my show. Most of the people out of the LDBC, and for the people of the LDBC, even though I'm not a member of the LDBC. I want to thank everybody that who are associated with the LDBC who actually added subscribe to my show as well. I'm surely appreciated. I'm very humbled for people too, because after I clown my boy from, you know who that dude is. I ain't gonna say his name on here because I don't want to get no shit started. But nevertheless, you know who I'm talking about. I've been warning y'all about him for the minute, But like I say, because of LDBC members vouch for him, uh, uh, I'm just letting people know well in advance. Hey, you know, if you care about the community, then don't fuck with dude, because that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about that person who did Ticket TV the way they did them, and like I say, he was definitely out of bounds in that particular department. So, nevertheless, respect to all my new subscribers, and I'm gonna put more content on there since people are coming in on my content. I'm gonna put more content on there, live and direct in full effect, man. Um, it has been rumored also that Tyson Fury had loaded gloves during that Deontay Wilder fight, and not only that, he had spiked something in his drink, which explains uh, the reason why Wilder uh, was ultimately knocked out. Now, I will say this because everything is rumored. As far as I know, uh, I can't confirm anything, but I know people that I'm associated with or closely interconnected with can probably confirm this more than I can. But if this is proven to be true, Tyson Fury should get the belt stripped from him. Period. Point blank. Period. In the discussion. I'm a big Deontay Wilder fan, but that don't mean I'm going to separate my fandom from what actually happened. If this guy actually had loaded gloves along with uh, a spike in his drink, and this is according to Blue Blood 78 Sports TV. Blue Blood actually confirmed what the doctor said was he had a dent in his chin. And when you have a dent in your chin, that makes it easier for you to get knocked out as a fighter, especially being in the heavyweight division. Because Deontay Wilder knocked people out so fucking fast, he hasn't had an opportunity to get to have chin points. You know what I'm saying? So what Deontay Wilder camp need to do is, if this is true, he need to go to the WBC and demand that his one loss be taken off there, because it is unfair to
Okay,
people.
peoples, I'm back. Hold on a sec. Keep talking, Jimmy.
It is unfair to boxing fans to see a man for us to pay our money to go see a fight, and somebody comes out with loaded gloves and spiking somebody go up against the rules. I can understand if it's a street fight. Okay, I can understand you doing certain advantages
Oh,
in a particular situation, but it's against the damn rules. And people want to argue me down about that particular situation. If a person has loaded gloves or altered gloves, it is against the rules of boxing. It's not boxing anymore. It's
it's
fucking street
considered
fighting.
cheating.
Exactly. And I would, and for you, if you didn't hear, it's rumors going around Tyson Fury cheated in that
Yeah,
Deontay
I
Wilder.
saw that on your video. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
it's
think he
rumored.
cheated. Matter of fact, somebody upload the photo, the fight on Daily Motion. I don't think he
Mm-hmm.
cheated. No, Tyson Fury would. Yeah, not cheated, but it's suspect, but he whooped Fury whooped his ass.
Them gloves was altered. One thing I'll confirm for sure. The gloves were definitely altered. Now, whether or not he had something in the gloves, that may be a little different. I respectfully disagree. Now, I don't know about the spiking of the drink. If he did that, it should definitely be because it's within the WBC rules. If a guy alters his gloves, the fighter who's the victim of the altered gloves, it's in the WCBC handbook. Uh, you know, good luck at reading all 1,000 pages, but it's in the handbook. If they do something, if they cheat
Mm-hmm.
to where it plays a factor, just like what Antonio Margarito had that Paris of plaster. If they do something like that, the decision can be overturned by the WBC. You know what I'm saying? Now he could also take the WBC to court and force
Mm-hmm.
them to give him back his belt. But in terms of that gloves, I don't know about the spiking of the drink. I just know about the alter of the glove. The gloves were, in particularly, those gloves were altered. I can confirm that in particular. Now they are saying that it was something in his gloves. I can't confirm that. You know what I'm saying? Blue Blood, I believe it. I'll say that. I believe it. Blue Blood is saying that, and Blue Blood is a very reliable source. He's a very reliable source because he has access to all four presidents of the WBC, the WBO, IBF, and WBA. You know what I'm saying? So it was some alterations of the gloves,
Right.
and that in itself can be overturned. You know, now with the other stuff added to that, he can definitely have it overturned. But I do know for a fact that the gloves were pulled up. That's not even to be disputed. You can go to quite a few YouTube videos and see the glove is sticking out of his hand more than it is. But continue, brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I'm just listening to you, man.
Yeah, but nevertheless,
So
I can confirm
yeah, I
that
had to
one
pop
thing.
something in the oven, and I got hungry.
It's all good. Do your thing, man. We own it. Like I say, man, I'm up. I'm up. It's Memorial Day weekend, so it's live and
Yeah.
directed full of. But yeah,
Yeah,
but like I
and
say,
your boy got to fucking work on Memorial Day week about that. Let's draw on something gonna be long because we gonna since the error occurring on YouTube when I'm trying to edit the description, we gonna be talking about in depth about what it say in the description at the end, how what employee and managers need, how they need to talk to an employee as far as reviews go. But continue with
oh, it's pretty much finished in terms
Jimmy.
of the. I'm here. I'm here, brother. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay.
Can
I
you?
didn't, bro. I ain't shit. Yeah, I ain't hell. I ain't. Yeah, I can hear you now. I didn't even know you was out. I didn't know you was off the thing. Damn.
No. What I
Um,
was. Uh,
Mick,
but go ahead. Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, basically what I was saying, if
Well,
this is
what I
proven,
was saying. Okay.
go ahead, brother.
Sorry
You
about
got
that,
you got
y'all. I
the.
had to put my I had to put my little wave cap on, y'all. My hair was 5 weeks nappy, and I finally got a cut Friday. I'm gonna be getting this dated next week. But Jimmy J Smooth. Normally, I don't. Uh, Sometime when I do revisit topics, um, it's either only one. There's no A or B. Matter of fact, it's an A or B, and maybe it's a C in some people's point of view.
Mhm.
When I had to revisit topics, because on my phone I've been going back and listening to some podcasts, and I detailed about my time working before I came back to South Haven. I detailed my time working at CINTAS, right?
Mhm.
Okay, in Madison, Alabama.
Mhm.
All right. Now we're gonna have to, and I listen to that. So now I'm gonna have to revisit it because there's a subtopic. Um,
What you think?
okay. Since just tell me my thing. I am so pardon me, so I'm not being blunt about it. And ladies and gentlemen, normally I don't revisit topics. I did revisit the question about on Jimmy's show. I think it was on my show. Yeah, it was on my show about a gentleman named Zach Cook. That was at the time when he was working at FedEx. So he's back here, but this is entirely different. Uh, back in from October, actually, I was hired through a temp service with CINTAS back in July of 20. No, I'm telling a lie. June of 2017
Mm-hmm.
when I was hired at CINTAS before I became permanent with CINTAS in October 2017. And then this is in Madison, Alabama. Now, let me start off by saying, and I'm going to say that whatever I have to say afterwards, the pros with it, there's not going to be a but. But there's going to be a however. I always say, but is always the final say that people goes by. However, is a two-sided story. So I'd rather for people to believe two sides of the fence than to just believe the but. Great job. Some damn good people I met there. Um, I can tell the story that when I got a phone call while I was doing my job when I got a phone call from my mom's on October 3rd at 4 in the morning, a little bit after 4 in the morning, that Craig Sr. died. I didn't cry. I was just like, what the fuck? Um, Coworker at the time by name Tim. He was telling everybody. He said, "Man, Craig just found out his dad just passed away after he had just talked to him Saturday. And he said his dad was just fine. Dude, they were just talking just like us, regular.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they did something that people at FedEx probably wouldn't have done for me.
Mm-hmm.
All of them, range from the folks that worked the plant, worked the second shift, worked the fucking office, even the damn drivers, even the fucking service drivers that didn't know me. Signed a card. Hell, the custodian signed a get well card. Okay, I was just like, whoa. It just felt like, and that's just how good everybody is. It's just a fun group. Okay, so we fast forward to sometime in 2018. I'm getting ready to tell a story. Things was about to fall apart. Things were getting ready to fall apart in my marriage. Matter of fact, in January 2018, the seeds of it was planted. Matter of fact, the seeds of the falling apart was planted when I took, and Jimmy, you and I talked about it off air, and I'm gonna tell it now. When the one thing I don't let people do is, I don't let people throw a lot of heat on me because I'm a burn your ass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I took a lot of heat, and I took a lot of heat, and I told my mom and I told my aunt Louise, y'all, both of y'all were in no position to give me no doggone heat. I understand y'all mothers and everything. I said, but hey, don't there's some things that everybody felt that yeah, true. My wife at the time should have just said, well, the correct thing for her to say was the only way I knew about my father-in-law was some things that Craig told me. She said, but and then could have just said something nice and then just sat on down. But you don't get up there to the podium at a church and point at my mom and say, I got your back. You know, subplot for things to come on Jimmy J's show about the funeral. And they looked at me, and I told moms, and I told Mom Louise, I told Mom, I said, don't y'all say nothing to me. I said, I don't care. I said, don't if you say something behind my back, don't even say nothing behind my back. You let me handle this. Don't you say nothing behind my back. I said, now y'all, I said, and I basically told Bob, I told my mom, my aunt, I said, I mean, talk y'all way this way. I'm back. I said, hey, I'm calling the shots as far as I go. You ain't gonna talk about me behind my back. Period. No more. I'll handle this. But like I said, I didn't mean to talk to him that way because I was mad because the heat was thrown on me. I don't like that. And I don't like that. I don't like for no heat to be thrown on me. We was having, there was a curse of things to come, and then, my wife's son, he moved back in the house with, and I can go ahead and bust and say it about this. He wasn't fooling anybody. He was fooling his mama, but he wasn't good at fooling me. He didn't have the brains to fool me. He couldn't fool an ant he couldn't fool a rat in the side of whether he peanut butter or cheese. So he couldn't fool me. What went on with him in the military? Yeah, that's why I told you he was about to be sent away on a drug charge. And an update on him. I think I said last that the girl he had got pregnant. Um, he had lost. They lost the baby. I'm not gonna rub that in his face. Don't nobody at this point know, woman north man, no, woman don't, woman or anybody don't want to lose a child at this point, whether it's through miscarriage or death. Don't nobody want to lose a child at this point. I sympathize with him that, you know, his mama told me this. But back on the story, so I'm just gonna say the initials LJ when I was at the job. And I'm put like this. The plant manager and his boss were cool, man. They cool people. I ain't got nothing bad to say about them. If the hell the fucking safety guy ain't cool. When was the last time you went around a safety guy that was cool as shit at your job,
Man,
Jimmy?
extremely rare. Cause the safety job guy on my last job, um, I had to cuss his ass out, and I think
Mm-hmm.
I've mentioned it on the show.
Yeah,
But
yeah. We what your last job? Yeah, you told me about that dude, but
yeah,
the safety guy at CINTAS, I hope he's still there. I know his name. I'm not gonna say his name. I'm just gonna be all respectful. I'm not gonna say his name. He know who he is, and the person I'm gonna tag a video to be in on this video. I'm gonna let her know. Let him know that I mentioned him. Great guy, cool as hell, and was slick funny. He was slick funny as hell too. He do that as a matter of fact shit like like it'd be quick. Be like, did he just okay? That's rare. But the safety dude, the plant manager, and the plant manager's boss. Oh man, the plant manager's boss is cool as hell, man. Um, I'll give him a solid. I'm gonna do an acronym. I'll just call him. His name is John, but I'm gonna call him John Wick. He know who he is. Not, I'm protecting identities. I'm not gonna call by the last name. JW was cool, straight up, and he came to me in person. He said, and we talked. Never before have you had anybody, and I was just like, and a part of me, I just kind of felt I didn't have no ego trip. I was just like, whoa, I didn't experience this shit at fucking FedEx. And we talked and kind of, talked about my pops and everything. He was just like, he said, when JW was like, well, how was he sounding when he called you? I said, he was talking just like regular guys. Yeah, I'm gonna watch, pops like, yeah, I'm gonna watch the Kansas City game, stuff like that. And they said when my pops passed away, the replay of the Kansas City game was on. And a spoiler alert, because I'll go in depth on Jimmy J Smooth show about the continuation of the Craig Smith Senior dedication. He wanted to meet Eric Berry.
Wow.
because they both experienced the same thing. He was Pops was battling Hodgkin's lymphoma. Eric, not even out of his 20s yet, was experiencing the same thing. He wanted to meet him because when he saw his story, he emotional. He pointed to. He said,
Mm-hmm.
"I'm gonna try." He said, "I better get some." He said, "I hope I win. Give me some damn money." He said, "I'm gonna go to the gang." He said, "I'm gonna demand to see him. I want to talk to him." I was like, "Wow." He said, "I had it." He said, "Hey, I'm gonna talk to him." He said, I got to meet my team, man." So, but anyway, at the time, we continued the story. I was dealing with some personal issues. I was some precursor things to come with some personal issues. Ex-wife and I, we got into it. Jimmy, that was well documented personally between me and you,
Mm-hmm.
um, and stuff like that. Okay, now my boss at the time, I got off track. My boss at the time, his name was LJ. Now they was talking about splitting people up. They did this a time, I think it was back. I think it was, I'm gonna say it was sometime between mid spring or heading into summer of 2018. They was combining both shifts together for some reason. That way everybody be all under one supervisor. LJ had the most.
Mm-hmm.
LJ had the most. Okay. So I'm like, okay, where I fit in. All right, gentleman by the name of Reggie. He had chick by the last name. I'll just say her last name is Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Brown. Uh, and I fit in under him. Okay. Reggie, great guy, stuff like that. I ain't never had nothing personal against him, not that I know of, until Miss Brown probably made a big deal about it. Um, there were just some things I didn't, he and I, we both had something in common. We both were veterans. But, and then seeing how he worked, he worked with a lot of people. Now I could tell. Now I'm going to tell everybody some things about me, about how I am as far as the workplace go. I'm a fickle ass dude. Okay, in a
Oh.
good. But then here's the reason being. I don't allow certain people to get close to me.
I agree. That's smart.
You know, the horsemen, everybody else, such as like my classmates, some of my old co-workers there, CINTAS, that's fine and good. And then, some of the drivers, I'm pretty cool. And not saying some of the drivers, I think one became a sales manager. I'm proud of him. If he moved up, he know who he is. I'm proud of him. If he moved up that ladder, whatever he did, shout out to him. Uh, excuse me. I'm not, I can be cool with certain people, but at CINTAS, there was a young lady. Her name is Courtney. She's not no longer there anymore. One of the drivers had to get her straight about me. She said some things, well, matter of fact, it was two people, and even the dude that ran the wash alley, before the other guy had to get her something, had to get her straight about me. He's like, you don't even know Craig, and you gonna talk about him. So you don't know nothing about him. Yeah, Craig's married. He acts silly because he's Craig. You don't know what
Mm-hmm.
Craig dealing with. You know, everybody tell people that shit. You don't know what Craig dealing with. You just can't judge him because you don't feel comfortable talking to him. It's not like they put it like this. And one of the guys said it best. He said, I put it like this. He said, if I was out here fucking up, and if I told Craig about it, Craig don't know. Craig don't. And if Craig, and God forbid something happened to Craig, that secret gonna be with him.
Exactly.
And that's how I am. And the young lady named Courtney, and typical, you mix with white and black. So, and and everybody laud up, oh, well, she's a college kid. She live with her mama and stuff like that. Okay, hey, I'm a college graduate. I live with my moms too, but I got every reason to until I get on out. So the bar, what Coach Popovich said, you can't relate to what I've been through until you've been. You can't judge. You no position to criticize me until you walked in my shoes. And
Exactly.
you never. Now I say it again. People are not in no position to criticize anybody, whether it's me or Jimmy, unless you walked in our shoes. And if you did, fine. If you didn't, shut your motherfucking mouth. Period.
Exactly.
Um, but anyway, Reggie's a great guy. Could talk to him about some little things and stuff like that. But on the other hand, I said but, okay. However, let me correct myself. How I'm gonna be saying buts on some things. However,
Mm-hmm.
I did not know he was saying things behind my back in some ways. I did not know, you know, and really you don't have to tell a person. I knew he was probably telling some people, but as Craig Sr. once told me, a person ain't gotta tell you exactly how they feel with your mouth. Just watch their body.
Exactly.
And no homo on this part. I'm not gay. I can tell a
It,
person's body language towards me. I can tell a person how they feel by their body language toward me.
exactly. Exactly.
If you cool, tell me about something. I'm not gonna try to hug you with you like, hey, how you doing like this? Or if I give you some dap, whatever, or like, okay, like I could say, for example, Jim, like just say if me and you, hypothetically, me and you weren't cool like we is. Hey, Jim, what's
Exactly.
going on? But if you pull back from my handshake real quick, I know what kind of a nigga your ass is. I know what kind of a dude you is.
I agree.
Part of me, part of you respect me, but you don't fuck me on that level. You don't care about what happened to me in my personal life, or really don't care about what happened to me. You know, but I can tell a lot by his body language. Now, a lot of people say I'm fickle. Let me explain something to y'all. I know me better than y'all. I know me better than anybody. You can't tell me about me. Some people may say I'm lazy. Kiss my ass. I busted
Agree.
my ass all the time. You may say otherwise, but I always say, if you want to back up your claim, your proof with me about what I'm lazy is, I want physical proof, not verbal.
Mm-hmm.
I told LJ once before, like everybody would say, um, like one time somebody, like some folks was questioning me about, oh well, because I was a mat roller, I was like the mats ain't getting done. Folks in the plant complain about Craig don't never do his job because the mats don't be getting done and stuff like that. LJ would tell them, okay, Craig has other tasks he has to do. If he ain't got
Mm-hmm.
no cars to put none of his stuff in, what can he do? He be walking around talking and stuff like that. Okay, I know how to make myself busy while I'm talking.
Same here.
You know, or I could be learning something. So if you can't say the person can't say I'm lazy. I never was lazy. Now I did show up days when a lot of people don't know when I was working out there. There were days I showed up sick as a fucking dog
Mm-hmm.
and did my damn thing. Okay. Nah, but like I was saying, like I said, Red's a great guy, good dude, But when he left for greener pastures for another job, and I applauded him on that. LJ became my boss again.
Mm-hmm.
And Jimmy, if you remember, even when I told you some things about what Reggie said about me in the you never say a shoot interview. That hell, basically that's all what a damn review is a shoot. he said some things that I really took personally. It was more of a damn insult, and I had every reason to be mad about it. If I was asked, would I take? If I was told, because it's hard to make me, it's hard to tell me what to do because again, I call my own shots. If I was told that I need to take back my comments, what I'm saying, my answer is no, because I felt I was insulted by a lot of things in the review. Now, before I get on touch, and I do remember everything was said in the review. I have a damn good memory. And before I do get into that, because there were some things I said on Facebook. It's like, why, like I got mad about something. Uh, what's the one rule? Well, like, what's the one rule that a man, Jimmy? What's the one rule? What's the one word that a manager hates to say that you doing with an employee?
Mm. Oh,
Showing what?
showing favoritism.
Bingo. I felt. Go ahead.
No. Do you think you cook, man? This your story.
Because I felt, deep down, part of me felt that Reg was showing more favoritism with Miss Brown, MRS, with Miss Brown than he was with me. Because I found out from another source that he really didn't, he really didn't want me being under the group, and it was just two people.
Mm-hmm.
When I started FedEx in 2001, my first manager showed a whole lot of favoritism towards a female. Not because of reasons. Get my drift.
Fully.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. She is. I'm not saying her name. She's a very attractive young woman, and yeah, she was stuck. Okay. My first manager at FedEx looked out for folks he felt like looking out for, and he really was my precursor to hating people, hating and distrusting a whole lot of people. I only trusted nobody but myself. You know, but but like I said, but again, but with Reggie, man, I felt some of the things he said about me in my review. Yeah, it's 2 years later. So fucking what? Big deal. Because there's also a subtopic in regards about the fact, and I'm gonna say it here, Facebook, and I'm not calling you all this, so don't take it the wrong way. Facebook can make a bitch out of can turn a grown person to a bitch.
Agreed.
Man, Craig Jimmy said something bad about you. Go and block him. He said this about that. He said this about you about this, ball. He said something bad about you, ball. Now I said what just a few minutes ago. Facebook can make a grown person be a bit turn to a bitch.
I agree.
And I'm not calling y'all a bitch. Now, if I said you was a bitch, I would have said, man, Facebook made you a bitch. They could quickly turn you to a bitch. Listen to the difference what I said. And here's why I said it. Because we got folks be quick to block you and want to, like he blocked me. And I know Miss Brown went back and told him some stuff I said. Now, there was some stuff on the view, it even pissed LJ off. Like, okay, June 2018, I drove up here to visit my mom, right? Up here to South Haven. I'm still in Huntsville, Alabama. There's a long story there. But and for the record, I'm glad for the record, I'm glad I'm divorced from my ex-wife. And for people to say that she had every right to divorce me, man, y'all can kiss my ass. Because if y'all knew what the fuck was going on, like Jimmy, like all of the guys from the Four Horsemen knew what the fuck was going on, and everybody else was going on, yeah, you'll see why. So if y'all want to side with my ex-wife about why she divorced me, kiss my ass. Make sure you had the right lipstick on too. Kiss my ass. Put your favorite lipstick on and kiss my ass. And or whatever, chapstick. Kiss my total black ass. But
Mhm.
June 18, drove up to South Haven, no problem. Okay, but then coming back, I was coming back from somewhere, my fucking head gasket slip out.
Mhm.
Like, and the way that Reggie wrote that in that review was like, it's the and CINTAS don't say employee, they say partner. Okay, so I'm just gonna get a company. I never badmouth CINTAS in a bad way. I'm gonna give them his respect. He said, legendary words, quote, it's the partner's responsibility to make sure they get to work on time. That's where he fucked up at. Because I thought that he would understood what the fuck was goddamn going on. But I felt insulted. I'm saying it here. I felt insulted. And I felt like, I'm gonna say, like, I was hoodwinked. I wasn't trying to buddy up to this dude. I'm just hoping that he would understand. But when you want to pull this little passive aggressive blase shit with me by using my transportation issues to get to work and whatever against me, I take it as being personal. And I took that as being personal. I said, take past tense. I took that as being personal, and let alone I took that as him being petty. And I was pissed about it. And I knew Miss Brown went back and told him what I said, and had him play back what I said on the show about the whole review. So on my podcast about that review, which brings me to this, which is this: if you are a manager and if you got a personal issue with your employee, have a set of nuts. If you're a man, have a set of nuts other than using them to make seeds you probably can't take care of. Or if you're a woman, bar a set of nuts, a woman manager, bar a set of nuts, or let alone, I'll do you solid, display some tact and talk to your employee one-on-one privately. We ain't gotta
Exactly.
go at, we ain't gotta go out with you to be doing bowling and playing cards or going over somebody's house or going over your house for a cookout, all the other shit. Look, you there to do business with a person. And if you currently my supervisor or manager or team leader or whatever, I'm going to publicly say this on this show, which is this: you have no choice but to be fair with me. If you get personal with me, you better do it behind my face. Behind my face, you better do it in front of my face, because you do it behind my back, I will own your ass. As Jimmy said, that he will burn you worse than an STD. I will burn. I will make When I get done with you, I will make sure you set on fire. And when I come back, when you still set on fire, I'm not gonna cool you. I'm not gonna extinguish the fire with a fire extinguisher. I'm gonna piss on you.
Mhm.
I will fucking piss on you. And I mean it. Oh, that applies to family also. Y'all not spared either. That go with anybody, whether it's at my current job or whatever. You got a personal issue about me, or whatever. And if you want to put on a review, you save it for the review. Cause I will leave your ass quick. I will leave a job real quick. And when you doing if you a manager or whatever or supervisor, when you doing an employee review, leave your personal feelings out of it.
Thank
Let
you.
me school something. Let me school Jimmy. As far as you taking the wheel, Smitty finna take them to school, which is me. This is Smitty's school. Okay, Jimmy, you my employee. I'm your boss. You're my employee. You ready?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, brother.
Okay. All right, Jimmy. Yeah. What's going on, Jimmy? Yeah, come get your review and all the other stuff. Uh, you know, some stuff, some personal things I had discussed with you, off the record, but I wait for that another time. But uh, here with your review, just give you like your attendance, 9.5. I think there's some things you can do a little bit better, such as improve your punctuality and stuff like that. Now, as far as your production, on a scale of 1 to 10, Jimmy, I do give you a 10. You are punctual and everything. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you do produce, you do good, you do a great job doing what you do. I'm trying to think of something else I can add on to that. As far as your sense of urgency goes, I applaud you for that because your willingness to help others, you being a team player and everything else. Hey, that says a lot. That says a lot about you. That's how some of y'all supposed to talk to a person at a review. Now, I know as I said in the beginning, I said I got some personal things I'm gonna share with you after this review. Now, Jimmy, on a personal level, between me and you, I'm talking to you as Craig Smith as a person to Jimmy Wright as a person, not an employee. You might want to slow your outspokenness down.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people feel
Mhm.
you be too outspoken and everything, all like this and that. It's good to be a voice to be heard, but Jimmy, you got some folks that don't want you to be heard. They still stuck in the ways, and man, like they still think you a child. You know, you supposed to be seen. You supposed to be seen, not heard, and only speak when spoken to. I don't run it. Jimmy personally, on a professional personal matter, I don't run no daycare. I run a business. I ain't got
Mhm.
time for that. That's how you supposed to do a review.
Yeah, exactly.
That is how a review's supposed to be done. But when you feel you want to add your personal anecdotes on shit like that, I don't need to work. One, it make me lose my faith in you as a supervisor. You make me distrust you. And but the funny thing, like I said, it was he did this review right before he left. And I was pissed by that shit because nobody, I would have thought that Reggie had more respect for that. Yeah, yeah, we veterans, he Marines, I'm Army.
Marines can be assholes, and I come from
Thank
a
you.
back, background full of Marines. They think they're the baddest people on the damn planet,
And I,
and
I work with a Marine. He even said he a retired Marine. He even told me some things. He said Marines go under strict guidelines. Like this is something he told me about. You can't date another female. You can't date in the Marines. That's called fraternization. You'll be
mhm.
demoted. You'll be demoted 2 ranks for fraternization. Like what? He said, yeah. Like wait a minute.
Yep.
I said, but is it fraternization if you date somebody that's not in the service? He said, they don't even want you to do that. Like damn.
Mhm.
So I'm Army National Guard. I'll admit, I thank God to this day, I never saw combat. I'm glad I didn't. But FedEx don't, I never, I'm gonna be honest with you. I guess I didn't get the respect. I'm gonna go on to come on out with it. FedEx don't, they don't respect no veterans out there. If you served in the military or whatever, they don't respect you out there. Most of these jobs don't respect you. I didn't even get respected. Like, okay, like okay, like here was the thing, like now I'm gonna tell you some shit. What what Miss Brown and nothing personal against Miss Brown. She cool. No, that's what I said. I just said Miss Brown. I'm not gonna say her name. And the other chick, the mixed chick, the mixed breed, the mixed mutt chick did. Um, did for Reggie. They went out the way like on Veterans Day. Uh, for him, got him a cake and whatever and stuff like that. And my old boss LJ, he was Navy. And when I told him that my pops was a Navy SEAL, he said, "Oh shit." He said, "Oh hell, they would." He was no. He said, "Yeah." He said, "Navy SEALs some tough." He said, "He told me Navy SEALs some tough motherfuckers." I was, yeah,
They are.
but and they are. I give it to them. They are the training they do. I wouldn't be able to do that. Even in my younger days, I wouldn't be able to do that. I'd be having like, man, I'm out. I can't do it. I didn't even get no respect. Man, and then one time in FedEx was told me, talking about some, man, we respect your daddy for me being better than you because he fought in the war. Your ass didn't. Okay. So, and I'm sipping water, y'all. I'm not drinking no liquor. Um, but they went out the way for him. So then I was like, damn. I said, I'm a vet too. And I told him, oh, you a veteran? Mm. Oh, okay. That's how I was met. That's how the response was like, okay. Hell, my ex-wife didn't even respect the fact that I was a veteran. Like, with the green light bulb and stuff that we do that we be that, I'm pretty sure you see everybody put out on the front porch or have lit in their houses and shit. You know, she thought that was my ex-wife thought that was stupid. You know, I'm like, wow. I'm like, damn. I said, it's not stupid. I said, her oldest brother was ex-military. He was like, it's stupid of you for what Craig's doing, but you need, and told him, he said, you need to respect him. Yeah, everybody think that you got to be, you got to qualify as a legit veteran in their eyes to fight a war. Let me tell you people something, they're going off a side note tangent. When you a vet, you ain't got to necessarily go in and fight the war. You come back looking like me, and the next thing you know, you looking all disfigured and fucked up. You could be a contract worker under the military. You could be a desk drone. You could be a desk drone in the military. You could be shoveling shit for the military. You still considered a veteran. Most of you motherfuckers don't know what it is a real veteran is, and until most ones y'all saying that I'm not a real veteran, until you take your ass over there and do what those guys are doing now, let alone I better do one better. Till you take your ass over there and deal what my late father did. Went over there and fought a fucking war he didn't have no business for a country to over there to a country he had no business going to. You come back and holler at me.
Exactly.
So, I was insulted by that. I was like, wow, you know, it was like, okay, yeah, Marines can be some dicks. Yeah, Army, they. I'm gonna be honest. Some folks in the Army, even some of the drill sergeants, some couple of them were okay. Some of them were just fucking phony tough. I'm talking about they was phony. They was about as phony as tough as a paper steak. Um, I learned a lot in my time in the Guard, the Army National Guard, stuff like that. So what? I was a weekend warrior, but I learned more shit in the weekend and in 2 weeks of summer camp than anything. I'd rather be at home working a civilized job than to be moving around from one place to one place. Like I had to move all my stuff in. Oh, you got to. Oh, well, oh well, Spencer Smith, you got to get ready to go to Germany. Damn, I just bought this house. Y'all tell me I got to move to Germany for 2 years? See, that's
That's
the nature of the
interesting.
business. I'm just saying. That's how it is. I'm like, people don't want that life. I did not want that life as a veteran at being in the military. But 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 back to what I was saying. If I was asked to retract my comments about what I said then, I'll spell it out. HELLNAW exclamation point. I would not do it. I don't even retract some comments. And if I was told to retract some of the good things I said about somebody, I'll tell you the same answer. I tell people the same answer. Again, and as I've said, FedEx have made grown people become bitches by wanting to block folks about petty shit, about wanting to block folks or whatever. I mean, yeah, I'm calling Reggie out. Hey, my phone number is still the same. You probably deleted, but I will announce my phone number is. I still have the phone number is area code 256-600-6907. And if Miss Brown went back and had you to listen to everything I said, she really was in the wrong too. And then like my father, who's a Taurus, I'm not bad, my father. Taurus is like the fucking star shit until they get the horn stuck at their ass before they come up.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
You know,
Taurus does have the bad habit. Good friends to have as well, but they're assholes.
They backstabbers. They snakes. The Taurus zodiac sign should have been a snake. But I ain't bad, Matthew Pop. Just tell it is what it is. But I felt that she should have never went back and told him this. What I said, had him listen to everything what I said. I felt that Reggie should have done the right thing. And you probably say he'll probably say what that got to do with anything. He from St. Louis, I'm from the Shire.
That's interesting.
Yeah, stuff he told me about with St. Louis, and I'm like, shit, I told him by the time I went there to visit my aunt, me and my girlfriend at the time back in 2007. I sent him and he knew the project, he knew the housing complex I was talking about. I said we had to go through the TAWF, well, it's still there. I can't believe it. That the Dome Stadium where the Rams played at. We had to go through that street. That part of the street was nasty as hell. To cut through to go to the to where my aunt lived, and he knew exactly what I was talking about. He said the house, like he said there was some housing projects over by the TWA Dome. He said, yeah. He said, I know what you're talking about. And that's interesting. But I felt, in my opinion, and and I don't know if you got on the FedEx group about with the video I put out, because I extended up an open invitation for a young lady to come talk to me about some shit. No, I'm not dying. I just need, hey, just need to get a lot of weight off my shoulders. I did it with one with a guy by the name of David Snipes. That was just like, wow. Because like I said again, with him telling me about all the stuff he was dealing with and stuff like that, he really, he realized how much of an asshole he was toward me, and he was wrong for it. I can't say the same for Zach Cook because, Zach and the other dude, little fat dude, Neil King, who's so fucking short, who's so short if he wanted to kiss your ass, Jimmy, he had to stand on 3 telephone books. So
man, I hate you for that, man. You ain't shit for that, boy. He said he had to stand on 3 telephone.
Say what?
He said he had to stand on 3 telephone booths. You ain't shit for that one. But continue.
So, and I'm just being real about it. But yeah, man. But I mean, I'm just saying it. Well, but again, my comments, what I said about Reggie at that time, I took that review personal, but it wasn't for old girl to go back and it was for old girl to need to make it her business to go back and make it known for what I said. Now, like I always say, I'm talking about Craig, I always say flip the script. So yeah, flip the script. Now, if he was in the same boat I was, he felt if I attacked him personally, and he got on Facebook or whatever and did something like did like uh said some shit on a podcast or whatever, or if I had found out from her as his boss what he said, I would just pull him aside and say, well, hey, well, what's up? What, you didn't like the review? He said, what's up with the review? And if he had told me, well, you said some things that was personal. Again, managers, supervisors, you talk about it's it's professional review. You don't mix your personal feelings to that. Ever.
Yeah, when you use the word personally, you didn't fucked up that whole review.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is, man. When
Yeah.
it comes to
Hold a sec, talk again. I gotta take something out the oven. Hold on.
yeah, when a person starts saying personally into a company conversation, that's like everything else it becomes bullshit at that point. So it's ridiculous. You know, so I don't know why people would say in a company setting that personally use the word personally when they're uh, doing things like that. It's just it amazes me. So it is what it is. That's just one of those things right there. Yeah. So it is. It gets on my goddamn nerves. I'll tell you that. Definitely gets on my nerves when guys. Well, personally, I think you need to do this better. Well, fuck your personal opinion. That's how I would say it. But I see you
Okay,
back.
bro, I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. Yes, had a little dinner in the oven, man. I was fixing late night snack. But
Oh yeah.
if I don't know if Jimmy was saying anything while I was gone for about like a minute or two.
Yeah.
When you say personally in an interview in a review,
Hmm.
you fucked up. You just basically fucked up that whole review. Let alone you fucked up your credibility.
Hmm. Yep. I agree.
So when and another thing, you don't tell an employee don't take it personal. How the fuck they supposed to take it when you personally take a cheap shot with them?
Hmm. Yeah.
Because sometimes employee, like if I attack Jimmy personally, you do Jimmy, like I was saying, how you supposed to do review. Now, here's the punk. Now, here's something. Now, here let me tell you another review before we get off. And this has now this is what say. Well, as far as Jimmy's work ethic goes and everything, I give him a 6 out of 10. He does a good job, but whatever. But he always has. But Jimmy always had. But on a personal note, Jimmy always has excuses as to why he can't get to work on time and everything. In my opinion, I think that it's the employee's responsibility to get to work as the best way they can, not to have an excuse not to come to work. You don't say no shit like if you're a manager, don't say no shit like that. Because if Jimmy found out I said something about, if I was a boss, or let alone if Jimmy found out a boss that had said something about him like that in the review, Jimmy like, well, hey, either you just transfer me over to another department where I can be appreciated or whatever, or I'll just quit.
I agree.
Because if you're gonna attack me personally, which is libelous, what you saying about me in the review is libelous, I don't need to work for you.
Hmm.
And in fact, I'll quit right now. I'll make today my last day.
Yeah. That's how I would get down.
That's what I would have told Reg if he was there. Because I don't let nobody go off the end and insult me. I didn't let and at the time I felt insulted. Because really, you can't say, well, all I was doing was just telling the truth. No, you ain't no position to tell the truth about somebody you barely know. When you show more favoritism toward one co-worker and everything else, come on now. And sometimes, and then seeing stuff like right now with my current job, and I'm gonna announce it on here. Sometimes, when you get tired of seeing a whole lot of things and stuff going on at your current employer, this is me. I'd say it in my head, Jimmy. I said, if this is shit I gotta fucking deal with every goddamn day while I'm here, even though I'm full time, I need to take the Trey Murphy and Jimmy JSmoove route. Be my own boss where I won't have to deal with people that much.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cause like right now, and you know who he is, we talked about him. They on pace to become the world's first trillionaire.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I work for. You know, and where I work at, I work at the one off on right, but basically uh on the other side of town, like right behind FedEx, off on Lamar Avenue. I work at that. I work at that branch. Yeah,
They got that close
Lamar.
to you.
Yeah, Lamar and Pearson Road.
Wow. Yeah, they finna take over. I can feel it.
Mm-hmm. I worked at one. I worked at one over there on Lamar and Pearson Road. Uh, they do shit. Some of the folks are like the team leaders. They call them learning associates, basically team leaders. Some of the team leaders are good. Some of the shift assistants are cool, but one rubbed me the wrong way in regards when they lied to me in my face. That your cred is your credibility is shot. If you a manager, you lie to my face, or a team leader and you lie to my face, everything about you that I have for you is out the window. You're gonna have to work your ass off to get it back. All your respect, all your credibility, everything.
As it should with anybody. That's a whole
Thank
nother
you.
conversation.
That is out the window with me. Period. Like we got an option called VTO that we can go on it, because we got a little apps on, because we got a little thing we can do on our phone, and whatever. I told you about that because like they send us texts and notifications and stuff about uh, what's coming up, what's up about this, about that. Okay, we so it was one instance, man. And see, I fucked around and I reactivated my left Achilles real bad. So I've been back and forth, trying to tough it going to work for days and this and that. Uh, and you know, when was that? Thursday, okay. Well, not Thursday. Not one of them days I had to do. I'm saying I've got my days for you. I'm saying it was Thursday. It was one of them days I pointed out. Okay, so I had to take a half. So I had to take 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
I tell me why the damn supervisor, because if you're gonna put the thing in for VTO, right? You supposed to put out between the hours of 4 to 6. No more, no later. So tell me why this man put this shit out at fucking 8 o'clock that night after I'd pointed out, and I bust. I see you low down mother. I see you dirty motherfucker. Man, I threw my phone, man, Jimmy. I threw my phone against it. Didn't break. Ain't nothing broke on it. Man, I threw my phone. I threw my phone down so damn hard. Man, I was mad as hell.
I don't blame you.
As you supposed, I said he was supposed to put that damn shit out at before 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
But but the other super shift supervisor, he does it. Okay. And then okay, the perfect example, like yesterday, they didn't put no VTO out, but you got damn near the whole Lamar, and then my foot hurting. Then learn social gonna tell me I gotta stand all day and push and divert, which means push boxes to the destination. I said, I ain't doing no damn divert. Said, well, you gonna have to divert. I said, yeah, okay. So went back there to the doc, talked to the shift assistant. I said, hey, look, I don't feel like diverting all day. I said, my Achilles messed up or whatever. You mind if I help these guys unload the trucks and stuff for where they supposed to go? Yeah, not a problem, Craig. And I felt I got more traction off of my bad foot, my bad heel, doing that than I would have been doing standing. Because if I was standing all damn day, man, I would have been in pain.
Mm-hmm.
So, so yeah, did I call my own shot on that one? You damn right I did. I call my own shots, or let alone go to business for myself based off of my well-being. I don't, I don't care about if you run a business. I'll say it. I call my own shots to go to business for myself because of my well-being. Period. Not your well-being. I'm worried about number one, me. Now, somebody get hurt, it ain't being selfish, somebody get hurt or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna help them out, make it, hey, do this and that. But no, I'll call them out on it. I say, man, yeah. And I let them know, put me back there on the dock talking about I gotta stand for 4 days in a row. I'll leave. I'll take a point. But people, everybody say, well, Craig just defiant. No, I'm not defiant. I'm not defiant about anything. I'm not a punk. I'm not gonna let somebody, I don't care what you is, supervisor or team leader or whatever, case in Jimmy and I's case, rampage or whatever. You ain't no position to punk some damn body. But if you feel and then there have been some that thought they did a good job doing that with us at FedEx, but when they stepped their ass out in that car, it was a different whole fucking story.
Mm-hmm.
You know, uh, but look, people, if you are a manager or a supervisor or whatever, don't be, yeah, we 327 in it long because this is a good comeback episode. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Don't, when you're doing your employee review, your personal feelings need to be out the window.
I agree.
Focus on the business at hand about that employee. If you got something personal to say about them, you pull them to the side. Because like Jimmy say, don't bitch up and put on there personally in the review. Because if you put that in there, you just screwed the whole review up.
Mm-hmm.
You screwed yourself up. You screw your credibility up.
I agree.
Point blank. And then you probably wonder, like, well, I don't know I don't know why Jimmy don't fuck with me like that no more. I don't know why. Well, and knowing Jimmy do something like that. Well, God damn it, I'll tell your ass why. Come on out here so I tell you. And I've seen Jimmy and FedEx reprimand a manager privately.
Exactly.
And the dude still and the manager, his manager at the time still didn't do what Jimmy asked him to do. So Jimmy got on down. That was what, and that, to borrow a quote I've heard so far, and that's what's best for business. Because if I gotta reprimand you and you still ain't doing what I think you ain't doing, when I tell you up front, when I tell you that one time, I will distinctly do what's best for business and just quit.
Mm-hmm.
But look, the point is, like I said, I don't hold grudge. Yeah, I'm lying. Libras are bad at holding grudges.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone public and said that's publicly known. We bad at holding grudges. And we don't feel right till everything's settled. So again, Reggie and Miss Brown, I extended my phone numbers. It is basically out in the public. I just said it. Reggie felt if you hey, I'm just saying this here, man. If you feel some type of way it was personal or something about what I said about you, I sure would like to know. We're both grown individuals because I'm close to your age by 9 years than anything. And the ball something what and still something what Magic Johnson said about MJ and Isaiah. If it's more than that, talk about it. We getting too that, because we getting too old to be carrying stuff like this. Don't do what somebody else tell you. You do what you supposed to do.
Exactly.
Find it within you to settle, to come out and say, well, hey, I felt you said about this and about that. And just listen. Don't listen to what somebody else tell you. Don't listen to what your old coworker tell you about this and about that. Listen to yourself. Just listen to yourself or whatever. And yeah, I'm not finna to throw a stone at him or nothing. You got a wife. I'm pretty sure your wife tells you same. Your wife need to tell you same. Should tell you same. Now I said need. That's the wrong word because that'll get a nigga fired up. Your wife should tell you the same thing. Hey, call him. Hey, call him. Tell him what's up.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. But again, if you're a manager or a supervisor, do a review based off of how you feel about the employee professionally. And then tell them how you feel personally after that. Because if you mix professional and personal, if you mix personal in with that, if you mix more personal in with that professional, they got every right to leave your ass, and they got every right to bad mouth. They got every right, like I did. They got every right to bad mouth your ass until you come out with the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So, but other than that, man, I'm done with it. You got anything else like that, Jimmy?
Oh, I just wanted to update somebody on another passing, Eddie Sutton, that just been that
Whoa.
been yeah, Eddie Sutton just passed away. So we got two legendary coaches in the same week. Is no longer with us. Shout out to Corey Wolf for being on it. Yeah, the family member confirmed he died. So two Naismith Hall of Fame basketball coaches has passed away, but the legendary Eddie Sutton, who took Oklahoma State to the Final Four, who took Arkansas to the Final Four, damn near did it with Kentucky. Um, went to the Elite Eight with them, but that is vacated actually.
Yeah.
So rest in peace to Eddie Sutton.
Yeah, I'm looking it up now. Damn.
Yeah,
84 years old.
yeah, he up there, man. Had some great players come through Arkansas. I'll tell you that. Sidney Moncrief, Joe Klein, decent college player, but a pro player, hit or miss. Had some
Yeah.
pretty good talent come out of Arkansas, and had some
He had three
had
sons and one, two. Damn. How many grandchildren? Yeah, he had three sons and one, two, three, four, five. Five grandchildren.
mm-hmm.
Sean Jr. Sean Sutton. He had Sean Jr. Uh Scott Sutton had three girls and Steve had one girl. So he had four granddaughters and one son. One grandson. Cause his wife died, what was her name? Patsy, she died in 2013 at 74. So he get ready. So he joining his wife, man. But wow,
Yeah. Well, get that old, you just unfortunately you just drop at that age. So, but definitely
oh,
rest
he
in
had
peace.
9 grandchildren. Damn.
Yeah, that's enough. That's
Cause
enough,
Sean
bro.
got 3 sons. Steve got a son and 2 daughters. Woo! Damn. They, shit. Probably don't know what the cause was, but I ain't gonna forget that '92 team he had. They started off 22-0, and then they finished the year 28-8. Like, how the fuck y'all? Man, I was like, how the fuck?
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Sutton. One thing that I had a pet peeve with Eddie Sutton though
Mm-hmm.
is he dragged ass with renewing the Louisville Kentucky rivalry. He dragged ass. He made it seem like
Everybody said he did that, but they said when Rick came, he said that was the first priority.
he dragged ass. So that was my only thing about Eddie Sutton. But other than that, man, when they finally played, he had some great players. Um, Rex Chapman took them to the Elite Eight, but they lost to that LSU team that would end up going to the Final Four versus Louisville and got slaughtered. But yeah, man. But other than that, Eddie Sutton did a hell of a job as a coach.
Yeah.
Great, great
Yeah,
coach. So
man, because that damn 91-92 Oklahoma State team, they were blowing everybody's ass out. They were like 20, they started off 22-0, and they were like the number 2 ranked team in the country. And then they just started just losing bullshit ass games. I'm like, damn. And then they went 28-8.
mm-hmm.
And
That's
say
it.
they said they were that good though, man. But I mean, but when we think about Oklahoma State, I just think about Oklahoma. Like the football team. I mean, they always gonna say they're gonna be second best against Oklahoma, but you know, I like Mike Gundy. I'm a man. I'm 40. He he put some life into Oklahoma State's football team when Les Miles left. He put more life into it. They were scoring more points. Now it ain't about shit because he can't find a good quarterback. Now with Oklahoma State's basketball program, I think ever since Eddie Sutton left, they've been the shits.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Oklahoma State got a lot of recognition when they had Thurman Thomas and Barry Sanders back there. And then
Mm-hmm. On the
Thurman Thomas
same team.
And then when Barry Sanders when Thurman Thomas went to the NFL, Barry Sanders set the record for touchdowns. So, man, Oklahoma State had some great football teams after that. So, you know, rest in peace to Eddie Sutton, man. For basically bringing back Oklahoma State basketball because that's what he did when he went to Oklahoma State. He brought it back when they
Mm-hmm.
were initially Oklahoma A&M, which Oklahoma A&M won 2 national championships in the 40s, and he brought them to their first Final Four since those 40 teams, the 1940s teams. So, it is what it is when it comes to that.
Yeah, I'm looking up. I'm on sportsreference.com looking up that 91-92 team. Yeah, they finished 28-8 in the conference, and they were 8-6, second in the Big Eight in the
Mm-hmm.
conference. How the fuck can you? Uh, let's see. They weren't that good defensively. I'm trying to figure out how the fuck you gonna. I'm trying to figure out how you gonna in the damn 20. Like I see, I think it was 20-0 or 22-0. One of them. How you gonna start that hot and then you gonna finish that damn? You gonna finish that damn stupid?
Yeah.
And while it's loading up, let's see. They had Byron Houston, who went to the NBA, Corey Williams, who was a senior guard, and Brian Reeves, Big Country. He
Mm-hmm.
went to the NBA. Well, he was NBA bound, but he didn't go to, I think, let me pull their schedule up. Hell, they ain't had no good 3-point shooters. Only good 3-point shooter they had was Sean Sutton, the coach's son. Second on the team in field goal percentage.
Yeah, but that Oklahoma State team.
Now he's third on the team field goal percentage.
Yeah, but the Oklahoma State team overachieved. They tremendously overachieved. That particular year that they went to the Final Four.
Man.
You know,
they couldn't. Man, they should have went to the Final Four. They just, cause I'm finna pull up their schedule now, cause I know they went shit the following season though.
Well, they lost so many great players that particular year.
All right, let's see. I know. All right, they were 28-8. Yeah, sport refs, boy, they be loading up so damn slow. God damn. Yeah, we going 4 hours
Okay, they
strong
played
on this show. This is something.
Okay, they
Now they
played
strength the sketch.
Yeah, the region they was in, they played in the East region against Tim Duncan's Wake Forest that year, and they beat.
In 95? In what year?
That's 1995. They beat Wake Forest in the Sweet 16, and they beat a UMass team that was picked to possibly be in the Final Four. They wasn't picked until, of course, the next year. But yeah.
Yeah. All right, now listen to this. Okay, these are all the wins. Oklahoma State that year. They beat Evansville. They beat Purdue. They beat Tennessee State. They beat Pittsburgh. They beat Georgia Tech, New Orleans, University of California, Louisiana Tech, Wichita State, Tulsa, Kansas State. Most of these games were blowouts. Okay, before I get to the loss part, okay, I'm gonna tell you how many of them win. Okay, let me start off from the beginning. Evansville, this is how I'm gonna do it. Evansville, blowout. Purdue, blowout. Tennessee State, blowout. Pittsburgh, blowout. Georgia Tech by 7. Okay, that's a good win. New Orleans, they beat them by 8 points. University of California, blowout. Louisiana Tech, they beat Louisiana Tech by 6 points. Wichita State, before they were even good, a blowout. They barely beat Tulsa by 6 points. Kansas State, blowout. Missouri, Kansas City, blowout. Marquette, blowout. Iowa State, blowout. They barely beat Oklahoma by 3 points. And Oklahoma was 7. They were ranked at the time. Okay. Oral Roberts, blowout. Southern Methodist, blowout. Missouri, blowout. Okay, now this is where the spiral go began. They went to Nebraska, got blown out. They beat Kansas at home. They lost to Colorado by 4. They lost to lowly ass Iowa State by 1. They lost to Oklahoma by 3. They lost to Missouri in a blowout fashion. They blew out Nebraska. Okay. Then they went to Kansas, got their ass blown out. Then they barely beat Colorado, and then they turn around, they barely beat Kansas State at Kansas State. Then in the conference tournament, they played Kansas State again, blowout. Barely beat Iowa State by 9, and then they got beat by Kansas. And in the tournament, they blew out Georgia Southern, they blew out Tulane, and then the Fab Five beat their ass. Yeah, so after they went 20-0 in they final, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In a final 10 games, they lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and won the remaining 4.
Wow. That's interesting.
That is
Now I can see
interesting.
if you had to win 6-4. Okay, yeah, I buy a loss against Kansas, like somebody like Kansas and Missouri, and then Nebraska was ranked at the time too. Not when Nebraska blew them out, but when they blew put it like this. Good losses considered losing somebody like Oklahoma, Missouri, and Kansas.
Yeah,
But damn, you get your ass whooped by some cellar dwellers like Iowa State and Colorado. Come on now.
yeah, yeah. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but nevertheless, rest in peace to to Eddie Sutton, man. Rest in peace to him, man. But
Mm-hmm.
and I want to say something about that particular uh situation that happened at Kentucky that made them vacate one of Kentucky's Elite Eight appearances and tournament appearances. It was found, believe it or not, that Eddie Sutton was not responsible for what went on in terms of that happening. It was the assistant coach that actually got him fired, that sent out a $1,400 check
Mm-hmm.
to Eric Manuel, which
Wow.
the way NCAA did Eric Manuel was a was a travesty. You know what I'm saying? That was a truly unfortunate situation. Now he did do good on the NAIA level. He went somewhere because he was out of Macon, Georgia, not too far from Atlanta, parade All American and all that. But the way they did this kid was ridiculous, and I wished he had a way to get into the NBA, which he ended up getting signing on undrafted, but they destroyed that kid's career to a
That name
2020.
sounds familiar because I remember dude was pretty good. He was pretty good, man. Eric Manuel.
Yeah, yeah, he was one of those guys that was coming out of that Macon, Atlanta area. That it was one of those people that was coming out of that area, out of the Macon, Atlanta area, to
Mm-hmm.
where they were that was the beginning of where he was one of the beginning of those type of people that was coming out of that part of Georgia, and that's when the players of Georgia, especially between Atlanta and Macon, that's when they started really having a pool of basketball because people didn't know people from Georgia could play basketball like that. Now, granted, you did have Purvis Elliston, but he was from Savannah, Georgia. So, um, but other than that, when you're talking about Atlanta, that was pretty much one of the beginning of the top level players coming out of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, a lot of that is mainly due to people coming from New York and Chicago as well as Memphis. I mentioned a few coaches out there in Atlanta that's from Memphis that has coached out there. So that's playing a significant factor. But it was very unfortunate for him because their kid is working in the concession stand out there in, I want to say, Oklahoma, some damn where. But other than
Mm-hmm.
that, man, rest in peace to Eddie Sutton.
Yeah, no doubt. Rest in peace, man. Man, we losing all the good ones right about now, bro.
Oh yeah, the great legendary coaches at that.
But everybody say, oh, like with the Jerry Sloan thing. I think most of these coaches do know, like NBA coaches and stuff like that. And I think Jerry Sloan knew. We grew up. These coaches were part of our childhood growing up when we was watching the game on dun 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 dun. You know, NBA on NBC. They knew it. So you honor them like the 90, like the Bulls. I mean, shit, the Bulls was a part of everybody's life. Like what shout out Stone Cold Steve Austin, what he said about Kobe. Kobe became a part of Kobe became part of his life when he got drafted. He said because the talking then was the Bulls, you know,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
also said he a basketball fan and a football fan. He said, but when he first saw Kobe play, He was like, "Whoa, damn."
Oh yeah. And we're still gonna have to do a dedication show to Kobe. Don't forget about that either.
Oh, I haven't. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
challenge you to pull a coup. I'll tell you about that off. Well, I'm while I'm on Instagram, I'm gonna put that and send that to you on a message. Uh,
Okay. Yeah. No problem.
but yeah, but man, yeah, we definitely gonna have to do it. Um, yeah, but we had all these suicides, and like they said, the Japanese wrestler. And when that's the picture I sent you of her, she's a beautiful woman. The Japanese
Oh yeah.
wrestler.
No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. And um, yeah, man, it's crazy, man. So it is what it is. But my ass is getting sleepy, so I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
wrap
I
it.
heard. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear it in you, man. And I'm about to go eat me some myself, and probably probably watch a couple of things on YouTube. I'll be watching some free movies on YouTube, and it's gonna be something pretty good. So, uh, if not, well, hell, I ain't probably gonna be watching nothing. Shit, I just probably just go to bed myself, man, because I gotta get myself psyched up, get ready for tomorrow. I'll tell you about that off there. And Monday, as much as I hate, I got to go in Monday. And I don't like how they doing us on that. So, but with that being said, Jimmy J and I, we done went strong for, let's see, we done went strong for 3 hours and 50, and almost 4 hours. It was an action-packed, well, factual show on this one. Episode 41 will be a toss-up. But we were supposed to be talking about college football, but we'll do that, talk about that in another show. But with that being said, once again, this is Craig on behalf of Jimmy J. Smooth, representing 832. Y'all know how he do. This is Craig Smith II, and the pleasure has been all yours. Good night. God bless. Y'all be careful out in these streets.
All right, boss man.
All right, now.